Kicked out from the Hogan leg drop. That has Hollywood stunned.
Yes! Yes, Malone can use the diamond cutter. And look at Goldberg. He's ready.
He's poised.
Okay, there's part one. Now finish him off. Finish him off.
He's calling for it.
This is it. This is it. Your career's on the line here. Do it. Do it. This place will erupt when he picks him up.
He's got him up. Oh, hell yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've got a new heavyweight champion.
I'm the Lion Kid. Make yourself famous. I just had an out-of-body experience. What did we just see? What did we just see? He got him in a power slam. He got him in a power slam. He got it. Simmons got it. Simmons has won the match. Simmons is a champion.
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get the shit you need. Eat. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
Following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport.
The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Man, listen. It's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips on the biggest times in the WWE! Somebody stop this! Somebody stop the damn man! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, it's live, pal.
Let the slaughter begin! It is now time for
With reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Number one, to be the man, baby! You have to beat the man! Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun because Vader has the PhD in pain. You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You son of a bitch! For what you did to have to kill me, to keep me from killing you! Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
Get in touch with your emotions. Find out what your worst phobia is.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. So, sorry for my apologies right off the bat for being late. I had the show. Why do I got sunglasses on? I actually had the show scheduled for tomorrow for some reason, and it wasn't until I'm getting ready. I'm like, damn, why aren't they giving me the countdown? I realized that I had the show scheduled wrong, but either way, I'm here. I'm joined by the co-host with the most. What's going on, Venkat?
What's going on, Trevor? Back for another Wrestling with Reality.
Yeah, yeah, we going. Who was that talking? That was Barry Windham saying,
Yeah.
you're gonna get it. Yeah, see, I know.
Yep.
You're gonna get it with reality. You may not like it, but you're gonna get it with reality.
Yep.
So real quick, like I said, I for some strange reason I had the show scheduled for tomorrow. Mike's on vacation, but he may or may not pop in. Who knows? And Bones is still at work, but he'll probably hop on for later on with the AEW report. So tonight is a news show. In addition to it being a news show, we're gonna try something new, a concept that I was thinking about, and it's going to be a segment that I'm pretty sure is going to go long, but it's going to be entitled "Would Things Be Different If?" So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present Venkat with what really happened and what was supposed to happen, what was the original plan. And then from there, he needs to tell me how would the business be had the original plan gone through. So he didn't know. I just literally told him, hey, we're going to do this. I didn't give him any other backstory or anything. I just said, that's what we're going to do. So that's going to be the concept of it. I'm going to give a scenario. I got 3 of them. We may or may not be. I mean, depend with these, one of them may take the whole show. You never know. But it just depends. I'm going to give him a scenario that had two potential endings. I'm going to give what really happened. Then we're going to talk about what should have happened, and had plans gone through, would the business be the same or would it have been better? Like, so it's like, that's why it's called Would Things Be Different If? So we're going to get to that a little later on in the show. But like I said, this is a news show, so y'all please hit the like button when you come into the building. And I implore you to go back and check out last night's show that Jansen Williams did. Are Black people cursed according to the Bible? It was great. It's all I can say. You didn't listen to that yet, did you, Venkat?
No, I haven't had a chance. I've been busy with work like crazy. No, I haven't had a chance.
Oh my goodness, you gonna pull all your hair out like when you hear that one. Man, that was tremendous, man. Like, oh man, God, that was crazy. But it's gonna lead us to something we're gonna do next Tuesday, things like that. So what I want to do, MD, I know MD was in a bad area over on Yanga Stream. So MD, if you're listening, let me know when you're in the chat. I put the link in the chat because I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about some of these Would Things Be Different. Like, and the reason I did that, because you guys know with me, I don't go off a script. So it's like, literally, if you watch Man Talk Monday, you could see we'll have a direction, and then somebody will come up and change said direction, and then I could just pivot on a dime. And I want to do that with Venkat, like, and he'll be giving me scenarios also, but I want to be able to. So this show is designed so, because you could go listen to wrestling news anywhere. You go listen to a wrestling show anywhere. This show is designed so you guys could hear people that have knowledge of the business from a true fan's perspective. Like, we saw the hottest of times and we saw the worst of times, and we give you like real perspectives, not anybody that's being paid by a company or anything to say something. Everybody thinks I'm being paid by WWE, but I'm not. Hey, I tell you what, I wouldn't turn the check. I wouldn't turn the check down though. If Vince came to me, he's like, "Listen, man, I just want you to say nothing but good stuff." I'd be like, "Hey,
you literally selling out now."
hey, that WWE money is good money." Speaking of WWE money, let's get right into the first news item. So a report came out that WWE's business is doing very well these days as a television ratings, and merchandise and live event sales are through the roof. So I'm gonna stop right there. We knew that, we could see that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the product is good. It just means that wrestling is probably on an uptick now. What really got my attention, and I just heard this today from Dave Meltzer, him and Alvarez were talking about it, is that this last week's SmackDown, Friday SmackDown, was the highest. So for the week, it was the highest viewed thing on TV, like period, not just cable. They're talking about network television also. And they say that has never happened. They're saying that the segment from Friday garnered a 0.94 in the quarter hour. Now, just to put that into some perspective, mostly when you see these ratings and stuff like that, they'll say, "Oh, a show did 0.3 in the ratings, or 0.2, 0.1, 0.4. That's average for WWE around the board. WWE did a quarter hour rating of a 0.9, which kind of equated to like 1.2 million people plus watching live the Bloodline segment. So I don't want to get no Bloodline argument, but what I'm saying is, and it's what I've always said, everybody's gonna like what they like, and people are gonna dislike what they dislike, but that Bloodline stuff still has legs. That rating, Meltzer was saying, and Meltzer is all pro AEW, but he was gushing so hard over the WWE rating that he was like, man, they said this means so much for them when it comes time to renegotiate that TV rights deal, because of how well those Bloodline segments are doing. So what they're saying, and this is my question to you before we go on into the news, is wrestling experiencing a new boom period? Not that it's good. We could dispute that all day, what we like and what we dislike. But as wrestling as it is right now, has it experienced a new boom period? Do you think it's experienced a new boom period?
I mean, you have to feel like it is something like that going on, because for the merchandising to sell the most right now, even outselling the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. That shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah. I mean, so clearly, wrestling is taking on a larger audience now than it has in, I would say, the last 20 years or so. And you think about the 80s and how big that was, and then how much bigger the 90s got. It's kind of funny. It's just weird. I don't understand it. Not saying I don't like it, because just like they always say, if WWE is doing good, or if AEW is doing good, or whoever's doing good, that just keeps the interest in wrestling up there. So that's a great thing for the industry in large. Now, like you said, is the product any good? Are they supplying the right segments and matches and so on and so forth? That's a highly debatable thing. But it looked like there's like a new boom area. Now that's going to legitimize Roman Reigns a little bit, because you got a champion that's not wrestling and a champion that's not defending and he's not actually working. He's just really on a microphone. So, I mean, that's going to legitimize him. So you can have a bad match like he did the last match and still come out good. We'll just see how long that goes.
I was going to ask you that. Who do you, because we're talking about the industry on the whole, but again, when you talk about the industry, and we're going to get into a number soon, but when you talk about the industry, you have to be talking about the leader of the industry. So on a pie chart, on a percentage, how much do you attribute this new boom period to Roman Reigns? Because I think he has it now. He didn't have it a couple of years ago, but whatever it is, he has it.
Well, it's not just Roman Reigns, though. Like I said before, it's COVID. It's people wanting to, people got, okay, so if you look back in 2020 when COVID first happened and everything was locked down, immediately, you had the whole supply chain issues. You couldn't get certain things, so you couldn't get a PlayStation 5. You couldn't get an Xbox. You damn near couldn't get a Nintendo Switch. You couldn't get access to certain goods and services for sure. So during that COVID time, people were just buying things, not just toilet paper. Even that was an item that just went off the rails as well. But COVID kind of like reset a lot. And it made people like yearn and want certain things. People got nostalgic, and wrestling definitely takes a part of that nostalgia. I mean, wrestling has been around long enough now that, when we were younger, wrestling had been around, but like as far as like in the popular culture, in just on visible level, really the 80s is what pushed wrestling to that point. And now that it's like almost 30 years later since those days, wrestling has a nostalgia thing, just like movies, just like video games, just like music. Wrestling also commands that. So when the COVID happened and people had limited access to things, now that we're back, we're getting around to how it used to be. People are going all in on their nostalgia and the things that they like, and they just want to just be active and be a part of certain things. I totally get it. I totally get it. So yes, Roman Reigns will have some credit, but it's also the timing of this happening as well with the whole COVID thing. So I think that's another thing that cannot be unstated. But yeah, I give Roman credit on that. Just wish he would just wrestle every once in a while. I mean, really, just put together a match every once in a while.
You talk about the whole COVID thing, and I missed out because during COVID, I worked the whole time. I wasn't, the owner of my company, she got something where she got it to where we got a letter from higher ups that we were essential. So I worked the whole time. But that's when the PlayStation 4s were cheap, and I'm like, damn, all the time I'm sitting there like, man, I need to get a PlayStation 4. I need to get a PlayStation 4, for the times I am home and can't do anything else. And I never got one. And then when I went to go get one, that's when they start shooting the prices up to like $600.
Yep.
There's a time you were getting them for like $199 with a game.
Yep. Same thing happened to me. Thing.
So they put them up to like $600-700, and then people start selling them on eBay for ridiculous prices. So yeah, man, that whole supply and demand. Hell, this is 2023. We're still fulfilling orders at work for stuff customers ordered in 2019 because in our industry, when that metal shut down, like that was it, man. Like when they cut that supply down, I mean, it destroyed our industry, and we're reaping the benefits now, being so busy and all that stuff. But I mean, it was a whole thing, man. It was just crazy.
Right. So the consumer's mind state or mindset, about things in general, that's why there's so much flights and whatnot. I work with the airport industry. People are flying, and there's all these delays and all this chaos in the airports. People are trying to get out, see more, do more, be a part of more. People understand how life could just be ended just like that. They probably lost a friend, a family member. People are just reassessing what life was. So they're just indulging on the things and getting involved in things that in the past they were too busy to even think about it, but now they're making time to have those moments. And that's a good thing. So that's why it makes sense WWE's live events would be selling out like that. There's more people with an active mentality that want to get out and do and be a part of things. Look, even you went out to see that independent show. I mean, you don't do that on a weekly basis, but you're more mindful to want to go out and do it now. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That whole wanting to get out and do more stuff, man. It's just crazy that it take a global pandemic to make you realize the finer things in life. Like I always tell my guys at work, I'm like, hey, don't be working 60, 70 hours a week. I say, because not for nothing, if anything happens to you, you know, we'll mourn and everything, but everybody could be replaced, man. I'm like, spend the time with your family and stuff like that. That's why I don't work weekends. I mean, if you see me go to work on a weekend, it's because I'm doing it for personal gain, like because I want to get ahead for the following week or something. But they know never to ask me to work any weekends. I put my 20 years in, so they can't come to me with any crazy thing like that. But you just put a more premium on families, and it is funny because we always say that WWE should stop doing house shows. AEW does house shows too, but they're a more of a startup company, so yeah, maybe they should run house shows. But for a company like WWE, they really shouldn't be doing house shows. But what's funny? Well, they don't call them house shows, live events. But what's funny is that their live events are doing record numbers without their champion. Back in our day, here go the old guy. Hulk Hogan used to be on all those shows.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, I think there was a clip going around on YouTube about a year or so ago where Roman was at a house show and he got on the mic and he told them, he was like, this is the last one you're gonna see me at.
Damn.
Yeah, I was
bold with it.
But he was like, because he was saying like, hey, he has such a sweet deal with them. He's like, listen, I'm not doing no house shows, but now they got Cody. You know, Cody will come in and he's at every house show. They got Cody, they got Bianca, you know, they got Seth. So they got those guys that'll be there, but I don't think they should be doing live events just because, you know, we still can't get Randy Orton back. I mean, it's like,
yeah, they're just wearing down guys for no reason.
Yeah,
and if you're gonna do a house show, have that televised, man. That's got to come on somewhere. It should run somewhere, even if it's on YouTube or something. You got to televise every time they have an event. They should be televised.
You would think that a company that big would always have the tapes rolling.
Yeah.
You know, like for how long have we been wanting to see that Ric Flair Hulk Hogan match up around the circuit? And the only video I've seen of it was a grainy like 5-minute clip where you couldn't even tell what the hell was going on. You can't tell me that WWE doesn't have their tape machines rolling at every event.
Right.
But they don't, though, because I've been to a couple of house shows and there's a lot of times I didn't even see cameras.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. I went to a house show. We ain't gonna get to the show, but it's just how it is. I went to a house show back in 2001, and this was a big main event. This was Hulk Hogan and The Rock versus Kurt Angle, and I want to say it was either Kurt Angle and Jericho or Kurt Angle and Benoit. I want to say it was Kurt Angle and Jericho. Big main event. I mean, you couldn't tell. You mean to tell me they couldn't have 1 or 2 cameras rolling in the event? That's something. Make it even a DVD bonus, because that's when DVDs were still going. But it was crazy that I guess they're saying they can't justify the cost or what. I don't know, but that just makes
but not only that though. I mean, the wrestlers need to look at their matches
exactly
so that they can learn from the footage and improve themselves.
Learn what got the crowd hot. You know, exactly. I swear, sometime you would think that the largest company in the world though would you know what I mean, would do stuff like that. It's crazy, man. Uh-oh. Dang, Venkat fell off. Yeah, Venkat fell off. He'll be back. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 of y'all watching right now. Y'all make sure and please hit that like button. So all right, so let's I want to get into this. So I didn't watch Monday Night Raw this Monday. You know, we had the debate Monday and it went long, and you know, you didn't catch that one either, huh?
No, I didn't.
It's so much,
I've been
busy
busy
over here, man.
All I see is like sometimes I see the alert like when I'm on a 15-minute break, and I'm like, damn, Trevor is live again.
Yeah, it's like
we instead of calling you Mr. Straight Talk, we have to call you Mr. Live.
It's like so we did this debate Monday, man, and it went great, man. It's like it went just how I would expect it, man. And now these two guys got a blood feud going on, so they're trying to set up another one. So I didn't watch Monday Night Raw. I haven't really been into watching Monday Night Raw just because they have all these guys on the roster, but they keep using the same guys. I don't like that. They keep recycling the same guys over and over. See, there it is. You gonna always get negative stuff from me when there's negativity to be had. So apparently there was a backstage not brawl, but a backstage disagreement. Did you hear about this one?
No.
Yeah, so this is from the Sportster, and I'm just going to the Sportster just because they actually wrote it out in detail, but I've heard this from other bigger sites and everything. So the headline is legitimate backstage argument took place after Raw main event. So according to multiple sources, a backstage argument took place following the main event of a match on Raw. While there were no reports of any physical altercations, there was genuine frustration amongst the participants regarding the match and a few issues. So I'm gonna tell you the first problem right here. This is the main event. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This was the main event of Monday Night Raw. So I'm gonna give you the participants. The main event of Raw featured the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. So they're overexposing them a little bit too much now. Their opponents facing off against Seth Rollins and Sami KO. And the Judgment Day won, by the way. So but according to WWE booking, you know what that means now, because you just pinned the champions. So you pin the tag champions and you pin the world heavyweight the world heavyweight champion shouldn't be losing any matches regardless, period. So there's your big flaw in logic right there. So the Judgment Day emerged victorious, but tensions apparently carried on beyond the final bell. And the members of the bout had it out when the cameras were off and the wrestlers were out of the sight of the fans. According to Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, the disagreement was more of a difference of opinion rather than a full-blown argument. Kevin Owens left immediately after the match due to prior obligations. Seth Rollins sustained a hard hit during the match. However, aside from these incidents, there was no abnormal occurrences apart from frustration over the match outcome.
Well, the outcome?
Yeah.
They're not pissed off at like the way the match was. They pissed off like the outcome.
Well, I'm pissed off at the outcome because Sami Zayn's been I don't think I can remember the last time. I don't think Sami Zayn's won a match all month.
No, and since the Roman match, he's been losing too. So
exactly. So I would absolutely be mad at that.
I just think that they just threw grease on his fire. I mean, they just messed up everything they had going for Sami Zayn. I don't know why they would decide to do that. He's had a lackluster time since that. What was that? Extreme Rules time. And ever since then, even though they gave him the title, if you look at KO and Sami Zayn as tag champions, they're not really blowing the roof off anything. Not the greatest champs. I mean, they show up and they defend the belts. More power to them, but it's not a compelling team.
But that's the problem. They don't defend the belts. They fight in single matches or matches.
Well, yeah. But I've seen a few matches where they went up against that guy the Street Profits. They had matches here and there. They wrestled the Judgment Day before in tag matches. They've had matches here and there. But yeah, you're all right. They do a lot of singles matches, which is kind of odd that you're the tag team champions. You shouldn't even be wrestling a singles match anymore until you lose the belts, really.
The world of WWE. So Mike Johnson.
Oh, but what I just want to say, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to say the reason I was saying, oh, good, because the Judgment Day. So that obviously they're trying to do this thing where the Judgment Day is at war with each other, getting upset with each other, and possibly breaking up the Judgment Day. And I'm like, why are we doing?
That's going to be stupid.
Why are we doing a dissension between that group, and we still have this whole bloodline group dissension going on as well? So now we just got everybody that's a group just completely at odds with each other. It's like weird. And you know, Rhea Ripley, you know, she's doing good. This guy just won the freaking Damian Priest just won the Money in the Bank. So they got things that are good within their group. You know, I just don't understand why do that now. You know,
why break them up?
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying, man. And that's why I keep having to stress. Like I'm a wrestling fan. WWE is just the company that I've been with the longest because they, you know, like they were in hell, they lasted the longest. But it's like a lot of things they do, I just look at it and I just be like, I wouldn't do that. But right. And I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. So right now they got Judgment Day feuding internally. You got the internal with the Bloodline. They got Imperium feuding for some reason.
Those women, that Bailey, that group, they're so it's like so many like groups that are like not tight. It doesn't make sense. Like, why are we doing that conflict?
Meanwhile, you got all these wrestlers in the back that can't get on TV.
Right.
They had the former NXT champion, I think it was last week or the week before, come out to do a gauntlet tag match, and she didn't get one lick of offense in. Like her partner literally came in the ring just to get pinned. So they had the former NXT Women's Champion come to the ring and not do any offensive moves, not do any defensive moves, hell, for that matter. Just watch her partner get pinned and help her partner get out of the ring.
The first thing I got to ask myself when you tell me something like this, because I've seen this so many times, I don't get it in wrestling, in this pre-planned world of professional wrestling. Why do we have to have matches like that? I mean, it's not Vader at the Great American Bash versus Tom Zink. You know, it's matches that shouldn't be squashed. You should have some competitiveness in a match. You shouldn't always have these moments like that. I just don't understand.
You don't like jobber matches?
No, I don't. And I was glad that those matches were gone. I don't need that. I loved when Nitro started the trend of having real matches. Because even when Monday Night Raw started, there were jobber matches on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
But it was with Nitro that whole thing where you just saw pay-per-view quality matches on TV. So I thought that was just awesome. I love that whole concept. I don't think we should be having those kind of matches.
But hold on, if you're trying to get, because I still think they're needed when they brought Braun Strowman up to the main roster and they were like getting him over as a singles monster.
Yeah.
Every week you have local jobber X come into the ring and I don't want to say, I'm not saying jobber, but enhancement talent.
Really? That doesn't sound any better.
So local wrestler, local wrestler. That's where you get the famous any man with two hands has a fighting chance. Hey, being a enhancement guy got James Ellsworth further than he ever could have gotten his life. So being an underneath guy ain't that bad, but I agree with you. Like, you want to see competitive matches, but I think when you got a new guy that you're trying to get out over, like a Bronson Reed or something, give him a couple of jabronis to smash.
But that could be a dark match, right? That could be the matches before you go live or before.
Yeah, but you want to get him on. You want to get him on the TV audience, though.
I think, like how we talk about WrestleMania, you should earn that spot.
Absolutely.
I think you need to earn that spot on TV. I don't think we should just be throwing any and everybody, especially when you got this kind of a roster where a lot of very good people are sitting down waiting.
So are you familiar with Ryback?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I watch his YouTube as well. Eat more, feed me more.
But do you know how? So did you see his ascension basically? So 1 week he'd fight one guy, the next week it's two guys. The next week they'd have him stacking three guys up. They built him up so much as this unbeatable monster that when it came time for him to have to wrestle CM Punk, it was like, man, are we gonna put the belt on this new guy, or are we gonna beat CM Punk's 400+ day title reign? And they ended up beating Ryback. Actually, I was at that event. Terrible show. I was at that event though, and it was just crazy. Like, because you don't beat CM Punk, you're not gonna have CM Punk lose to this new guy, but at the same time, whoever beats Ryback, the steam is gone now, because they don't know how to build people back up. So, and that's what they did. They ended up letting the gas out of them. So that's why I think like these local matches are needed.
But there's a place for that though, right? It would have been ECW, NXT. That's where you could do that at. But when you get to the main roster, you can't have the guys that's on your main roster get messed up like that, or even bringing in a bum just to step in. Those shenanigans can be left for NXT.
That's why they need a win-loss record, because
oh my God, yes, that would be awesome.
Because because hey, you got a new monster. WWE this is WWE's tried and true formula. Hey, Dolph Ziggler, you want to come get your ass kicked on TV this week? Dolph Ziggler's record against new guys should be like 0-100. Like literally. He's
good too. I like
Dolph Ziggler is so damn good.
Yeah.
There's not a new guy that I've seen come on that Dolph Ziggler didn't have to lay down for.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Again, but that's why I feel like, a couple enhancement guys would be better, man, to just have this guy beat up and, do his thing. But I don't know.
Did you see that? Did you see that post that I put out there where it showed like so far in 2023 the records of multiple wrestlers? I had it on Facebook.
Oh nah, man. When I go to Facebook, I go straight to the Straight Talk Society page. I don't even go to the to my Facebook page. I don't go to my Instagram. Like, I don't look at my Instagram feed. I just go straight to the messages.
So I should have linked it. I linked it to you. I should have linked it to the Straight Talk Society.
Yeah. Because that's what when I go on Facebook, like, I do not go to my regular Facebook account. I go straight to the Straight Talk Society. And when I go on IG, is just to look at the messages, because people be sending me messages for stuff to talk about on the show. Like, it's been so hard lately to just keep up with just regular social media. Like, it's been crazy. But so Mike Johnson, the PW Insider, says that the argument was not physical and it stemmed over frustration of how the match unfolded. Some spots didn't go as planned, which led to a clunky execution. So this how you know, when you ask, how do you know Vince McMahon is back in charge? I'm gonna read this next line. Changes were made at the last moment. And one source blamed a particular talent without revealing their name. Changes were made at the last moment. What have you heard about Vince? He literally shows up at the show and rips up the script will be ready to go. 2 minutes before it's time to go on air, he rips it up and he's rewriting it again. So that's how you know. like that's how you know.
What do you think that does to a talent, especially an up and coming talent that's not used to some stuff like that? Like their whole confidence must go away right there.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like it's outright ridiculous, and it's a lack of. I mean, it's a lack of organization. First of all, I mean, and it just shows that you're wishy-washy. You can't, and you're not confident in what you're putting out there. That you have writers, you have a whole writing room, and they're writing a show, and you don't think that the show is good enough. So you're like, oh yeah, let me rip it up and write it. And then when you rip it up, you put on a worse show than what was originally written. So it's like, damn, this was the rewrite. I'd love to see what the original plans were. Yeah, this guy, man. So damn, 41 minutes in. Let's go to the. Yeah, we're only gonna do probably one. Would things be different? This is all good though. But
I just sent you that that thing I was telling you about. I sent it to your WhatsApp and your email. I don't know if you can get it from there, or not your email. I'm sorry, your text. I don't know if you can see it.
All right, let me So what was I saying? Okay, so now here's a downer. Now we're talking about WWE ratings for SmackDown being at a historical high. Now let's talk about some concerning things that, I mean, I said it. Nobody wanted to. Everybody was like, "Oh, I'm being a hater," but the ratings are in for Saturday's AEW Collision. The show drew 580,000 in the 18. So so here's the thing about that demo. Okay, so the number I gave earlier. So here's a good example. So the show did 580,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 demo. That's the key demo for wrestling. The show did a 0.21 rating. So put that in retrospect. If this show did a 0.21 and SmackDown did a 0.94 in the quarter, we're not talking about just the entire show. We're talking about just in a quarter. That just goes to show you why people are gushing over this number so much, because 0.21 for a wrestling show is about average. Like 0.21 to 0.5 is normally where you're going to be. You don't get nines in the non-Attitude Era, non-WCW. Hell, WCW and Raw back in the Attitude Era, those jokers were pulling in 8 million viewers. They were rivaling Monday Night Football. So that's a totally different beast. We're not talking about that. We're talking about for modern wrestling now, you don't see that type of number. But how concerned are you? Because look, let me show you. This was the main event for that show. Right. And
that should be a legit main event to have right there.
But first of all, let me throw a little jab here. What are we doing here?
What do you mean? What do you
look at these two guys?
What's wrong?
Really? Look at these two guys.
Are you trying to say they both have a gut?
Not even that, man. Like, come on, man. You're the flag bearers. Samoa Joe, I think, is a champion of his side, and CM Punk, we know, is going to be the champion soon. You're the flag bearers of your brands, and you guys, like, this is what you present to the audience. Punk's shorts are falling off. Samoa Joe has to hike his shorts up to cover his stomach. Like, come on, man.
I mean, I don't know about that CM Punk shorts, but Samoa Joe look like normal. I mean, he actually don't look too bad as far as.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, he don't look too bad.
And listen, and I'm not. Hey, I'm a guy sitting behind a microphone, but I guarantee you, if I was in that spot, look, my guns are still there. Y'all pay attention. We don't play no games over here now. My guns are still there, but they're paying them to do that. They're paying them.
Right, they have the money to get trainers, meal plans.
Hey,
they have all the time. You know, weight room.
Tony Khan not calling Trevor and Venkat up and saying, "Hey, y'all want to come wrestle a tag team match on Collision?" Nah, you know what I mean. So it's like that's what I'm saying, man. Like, come on, man. But that plays to the bigger point though. CM Punk's return was on the initial Collision. It drew 880,000.
Almost 900.
Yeah, let's give them 9. And overnight it probably did 1 million. So let's give them 1 million. We'll give them 1 million.
Okay.
The following week it died a death at under 500,000. And now here we are in the third week, it's at 580. So still 300,000 less than the initial one in less than a month, with the headline match of CM Punk and Samoa Joe. So my question again is, why would Tony put this new show on a death night like Saturday night? Like Saturday night, I'm not trying to watch unless Venkat, you don't watch football, but college football is coming back soon.
Right.
College football is played on Saturdays. What happens when they had to go? What happens when there's a big ABC primetime game?
I know, and that's the thing. That's the other point too. Like WWE hit that high mark right now, but there's no NBA, there's no NFL, no NHL. There's not a lot of the major things. This is a dry time for sports, so that's another reason probably why it's so high. But you know, we're not going to take anything away from them. You know, they did.
Why is AEW so low then?
I know that's a very troubling thing for AEW, which goes to the fact if AEW was on Netflix and constantly on Netflix and just able to be exposed to that audience, they would be getting higher numbers. But nobody knows about AEW like to the degree of WWE, and that's because of that 60-year head start and all the other, you know, exposure, and they don't have that history like that. But that's all the more reason why they need to do a bold move like that and get with the program as far as go HBO Max, go Netflix, even Hulu, for God's sakes. Do something so that people don't have to pay $50 for 3 hours, maybe 4 pushing it, of entertainment. That makes no goddamn sense. They're just not accessible.
Hulu would be a damn good spot for them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, WWE was on Hulu at one point. That was one point where you catch all the Raw and the USA.
Yeah, they still are, and you get the 90-minute version of the show.
Yeah. They gotta do something creative, and that's the other thing too. Like I watch like AEW off of YouTube, and like they only give you a piece of the match, or they just give you a moment that happened. So like after it airs on TBS and TNT, where does that match go? It's not going on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K.
I do think I think and Bones, when he comes on, he'll tell us, but I think AEW has a streaming service.
Well, that's the worst promoted streaming service of all time. I ain't never heard nothing about it.
I think
I know about Impact streaming service. I don't know about no AEW.
No, AEW has a streaming service. I think they've had it for a while where you can find all this stuff.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
So they got to do something though, man, because look, again, I need them to succeed, because the better they get, they'll make my company that I follow better. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then a lot of wrestlers are over there that I like. So I want them to have a place to work, because God forbid they had to come back to WWE and be the 287th man on the roster.
Riding that bench.
I honestly, and I'm gonna say this, I like what WWE is doing, sending a lot of their talent back to NXT, because now they get to work with the younger guys. They're on TV now in main event spots. Because Because if you have a talent like a Ali and you can't find a spot for him on your regular TV every week, then just release him. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a lot of these guys, man, they just have them. They sign them to these contracts. Look at Gallows and Anderson. They brought them back, and those guys are literally getting paid just to sit in catering. I mean, and for some guys, that's great. Some guys love that. But when you have a guy, that wants to be on TV, you know, what do you do there? But I think AEW has a serious problem with this Collision show, man, because if you put a main event of CM Punk and Samoa Joe, but okay, so now here's my other thing. A main event like that only translates to casual fans. I mean, to diehard fans. Casual fans don't care. Obviously, casual fans don't care about a main event like that.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. What happened to Rampage? Does it still go on?
That's the Friday show, right?
Yeah, I never see anything about Rampage.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it does. Man, my phone must be overheated. I'm trying to load this damn picture up here, but yeah, I don't know, man. This they got to do something, man, because when college football comes back, they're gonna die a death. Like, I mean, I'm not even lying to you, man. They are going to die a death.
Yeah, I want AEW to do better because I would love to see. They have matchups that the WWE don't have, obviously, and they have a lot of cool things in their company that they do. You know, for one, you know, keeping a record for the year is an awesome thing that they do. I would like to see more from AEW, but in an accessible, affordable way or economical way, really.
Yeah, because I can't do it. I can't justify paying them $50 a show or whatever they charge. It's just like I can't justify paying the UFC $80 a show. You know what I mean?
Well, in that group chat on Facebook, they're gonna tell you, "Are you poor? I'm not poor, so I can buy it." That's what they told me.
Meanwhile, when I go outside and I cut my damn camera on and show them, I'm like, "Nah, I'm not poor. It just got a lot of priorities ahead of that." Like, you know, wrestling pay-per-views are way down on the pecking order of things that I gotta take care of.
Exactly.
And not for nothing, man. The way it's been so hot lately, like my air conditioners are just taking a shit on me, man. Like the one in my wife's office is acting up. But
according to the Republican Party, it's not hot.
Yeah,
there's no such thing as global warming.
Listen, hey, I work outside. Like, I'm never in my office. I got an office, but I probably spend an hour of my 10-hour day in there. So I'm out in the shop the majority of the time, and that shop can get like 110 degrees out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's hot.
Right. That's crazy.
My house right now, like my AC is running triple time, and it's like no matter how hard it's blowing and you can feel it, the sun is like, man, hold on, just take this. Let me pelt down more in the house, man. It's crazy. It's hot, man. This shit is ridiculous. So all right, let me so here's the card. So last week AEW Collision was at 452,000 total viewers, a 0.13 in the key demo. And this week they were at 580, a 0.21 in the key demo. And here was the card. You had Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe in the Owen Hart tournament. So look at that. They're doing a tournament. Tournaments in wrestling normally draw. Willow Nightingale versus Athena, and FTR versus the Bullet Club versus, yeah, look at that. So you had a pretty good card name wise, and
a stacked show.
Yeah, and they couldn't. That's what I'm saying. So is AEW booking too much to the hardcore fan?
Oh yeah, that's all they really got. I don't really see them. They're not addressing the casual fans at all. It's just not happening. And I wish that they would course correct and do something to fix that, because How can you grow if you can't get new fans? And the ratings on Collision lets you know they can't get new fans. It's the same people coming back every week or so, give or take.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. That's crazy. So they got to do something. I don't know if they're gonna have to create like a new. They're gonna have to create a long hair Samoan guy and have him run over there. Or just, they're gonna have to do something, man. Or will MJF? Okay, so this will be your real.
I can just see Mike's face steaming right now. Mike is probably so pissed when you said that.
Would if MJF made a few appearances over there, what do you think the rating would be?
I think he would affect the rating, but I don't think it would be like to the level that we would hope for it to be. You know, maybe in the 500s, it may tick up slightly more, but not like where Raw is at. Not like that. Not so like where SmackDown is at.
Let me give you a comparison. So NXT on average does about 500, 600,000, and they're on Tuesday. They've been there forever, like at that rate.
Mm-hmm.
So they did this match where Seth Rollins came over to wrestle Braun Breaker. It instantly went up to 900,000. So that's a 300,000 plus swing. You think MJF is worth that type of swing on a Saturday night?
Oh my God, that's a good question. I want to say yes, but I'm kind of scared that it may not be, because it took something extreme for them to get that high first rating, where, you know, this guy's coming back, CM Punk coming back with the controversy of the scrum. That's an extreme thing. That's not a normal thing. And when we get to normal, it just tanks down to the 500. So I don't know if MJF can do that. I mean, I would love to see it. Again, he's another one. He's worse than Roman Reigns. That's scary that he's worse than Roman Reigns. But by default, he's going to be worse than Roman Reigns, because AEW does not wrestle as much as WWE, because they're a smaller company. So he's already not wrestling a lot, and he's already in a company that doesn't wrestle a lot. So I would love to see it. Would he be able to do it? I can only say I hope so. But I don't have all my marbles in that basket.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, man. They got to do something though. So I got one more story, and then we'll get into would things be different if. So all right. So this is interesting. I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are on this one. So on the latest Click This podcast,
mm-hmm.
Kevin Nash talked about getting heat for saying that LA Knight is knocking off The Rock. So,
they usually say he's knocking off Stone Cold.
Well, they say he's biting both of. Apparently, when he was in TNA or Impact, whatever they call themselves, that was his thing. Like,
yeah, it is.
I didn't watch. I don't. You know, I never watched it, so I don't know. So Kevin Nash says that there's so many people that agree that LA Knight is doing the Rock Austin thing. I mean, the guy's been in the business for like 10 years. I mean, why didn't he get over anywhere else? So,
you know, that right there is not fair for Kevin Nash to say. But, you know, we literally got a guy named Nature Boy. And there was like 50 Nature Boys before the original Nature Boy. Not to mention Gorgeous George. Like, all those wrestlers from before, they stole from those guys way before. I mean, it's not stealing. It's like they're just taking certain ideas and attributes and making it their own. He's not a beat-for-beat repeat of The Rock or Stone Cold.
So wait a minute. What's the guy's name? What's the black guy? Jay Lethal?
Yeah, Jay Lethal, yeah.
That's not a Macho Man and Ric Flair complete ripoff?
That is an homage. But at the end of the day, it's still Jay Lethal. So he's doing an homage to those guys because he respects them and idolizes them coming up. But he also is his own, he has his own spice and personality, and he mixes it all up, and that's where you get that from. But I don't never look at that like, oh man, he just blatantly wrong. No, come on, that's not what it is. I think Kevin Nash he just jumped the shark on that one, man. I think that's a bit much. Like, stop hating on LA Knight. That guy doing what he doing to entertain that crowd.
So he has more though. He got more. So he goes on to say, I've always said that if you're not over, oh yeah, okay, yeah, coming from him, yeah, I want you to tear this one up. I always said that if you're not over in 3 years, it's just not probably gonna happen. I would go down to NXT and I'd ask a guy, how long have you been here? He would be like 4 to 5 years. This was before NXT had its own show. These guys were in developmental for like 3 to 4 to 5 years. So Kevin Nash says, I've always said that if you're not over in 3 years, it's probably not going to happen. So Master Blaster 1, who else was he? Vinny
Vegas.
Oz.
He has an endless stream of bad gimmicks.
So that guy says that if you're not over, come on.
Oh, and by the way, he was also Shredder in Ninja Turtles 2. Just want to put that out there. So yeah, he's full of crap right there. Kevin Nash, he's obviously high off the weed. He's obviously snorting something.
He's a weed guy.
He must be, because he's just talking crazy right now. How can you tell young guys that are coming up that are trying to make it in this business, by the way, which is very difficult today, because it's just such a different landscape. It's not like accessible. In the past, they had wrestling schools, more leagues, more organizations. It was more of a straight path back then. Today, it's a little bit, rocky. It's like a gamble. You don't know if you could even get in. So it's just disingenuous for him to say that, coming from that background where he has like so many bad gimmicks, man. Notorious for those gimmicks.
Yeah,
I didn't even care. I didn't really care for the Diesel gimmick either. I didn't really care for that either. I think he started to click, literally, no pun intended, but when he was just Kevin Nash in WCW. That's when he started to click. But again, he still bit something. He started to act like a black guy, right? That's gang affiliated. That's what the NWO was. A bunch of white guys pretending to rape black culture as usual, and then it just stuck because of the time that it was in the 90s.
Hey Bones, I put the link in the chat, but so you didn't like Diesel, huh?
No, I thought it was stupid as hell.
So I didn't. Okay, so okay. Let me back this up, because I didn't like. So he was supposed to be a truck. That was that
right.
I guess he was Transformers. That was the gimmick. So I didn't like that part. But I liked him just as a big. I liked him as a big ass kicker, like. But when he was Kevin Nash in WCW, that was a complete.
That was his best.
Yeah,
that was
a
best
complete different
right.
person. That's when he took off. But as Diesel, I liked him. I liked him. I liked him as Diesel. I just thought. But this again, you're talking about the mid 90s. So they had a guy that was a plumber. So I mean, so that's crazy though. But hold on, because he got more.
Oh my God, Kevin Nash is crazy.
So later in the podcast, Nash said, I've never seen the guy work. Oh, see, but that's what I'm saying, man. That's when I be saying like disingenuous. There you go. I've never seen the guy work, and I just said what I said. So what you judging him off of? But then when I thought about it, after the show was over, anytime you bash one of the boys, I don't know him, but he's still one of the boys. Anytime you bash one of the boys, anytime you bash one of the boys, I thought, well, the worst case scenario is that somebody will say I bashed him, and then if he's over, then the people will be like, we like him anyway, and they'll push him harder. Like, well, we'll show you, and the people will get with him more. Yeah, that's really worded. So somebody said, like, once again, these old wrestlers are holding back. We're holding them down as much as you're sitting on your ass in your living room getting them pushed. That I agree with. I know you think your guy. I know you think you guys count. You don't. Okay. All I do know is when I was asked to pick somebody, I said Damian Priest, and lo and behold, who won the Money in the Bank? We talked last week. I guess I'm not as out of it as it appears. So apparently, this stemmed from somebody may have asked, you know, who was his Money in the Bank pick, and he picked Damian Priest, which ended up going on to win. Which
even that suspect, right? Because Kevin Nash only saying Damian Priest because Damian Priest he wore like during Backlash he wore Scott Hall stuff on
I
his.
didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he wore dedication like apparel of Scott Hall in that match. So that's so he talked about it after the fact, and he just liked the fact that he did that for his friend and blah blah blah. So there's like a personal like interest to say Damian Priest. It's not like he was the Nostradamus of wrestling and figured that out. The guy just likes him because he liked his friend.
Yeah, I think
Kevin Nash need to get real, man.
Yeah, I think. I mean, so here go Mike saying he knew it wouldn't be LA Knight. Man, Mike in Jamaica, and he still popped his head in. But so I like I said, I like Kevin Nash's whole NWO gimmick just because you're right. They were trying to be black, but
yeah, that's what it is. It's always that.
It's funny though that we accepted them because I bet you run that same exact gimmick the same exact way right now, we'd look at it and be like, huh,
yeah,
not so much. You know, you had Conan coming out there talking about Orale Vato and all this, you know, with his clothes backwards and everything. The most cliche, stereotypical Spanish thug you ever seen. You know what I mean? It's like,
but that's the part that helped legitimize it because Conan's affiliation with it. You know, that's the part that helps to make it go over, especially with the Wolfpack.
What's your thought on Conan?
I like Conan. I think Conan. You know, lately I've been, as you listen to him because he has that podcast with Disco, and you listen to him talk about wrestling, and you listen to him talk about like the past, and plus he does Triple A. You really get an understanding that he was not just a guy that was around. He had an actual place. He made his mark. He helped put on guys.
He was Mexican Hulk Hogan. That's what they call him.
Right, exactly.
Even though he's Cuban.
Right. So he really carved his niche in the sport. So you just realize the gravity of what he meant to the business. So that just made him even better. I looked at him as a good wrestler. He's the one. The first time I saw Conan was Starrcade 90 in the Pat O'Connor Memorial Tag Team Tournament.
And he was. Hey, listen. There's a term that I use for my daughter. It's a wrestling term. I would be like, dang, you always trying to spam all your finishers. I say you want to do everything right now.
Yeah.
You know, because my daughter will try to do every single thing in one day instead of like trying to. I got that because that's how they describe Conan. If you ever watch an early 90s Conan match, Conan will hit you with every single finisher move in like the first 10 minutes. Like Conan didn't give a damn. He was going to get his shit in regardless. I forget what it was. Yeah, it was probably at that Starrcade you're talking about. Conan hit like 10 finishers in the first 2 or 3 minutes, and how was everybody else coming up on the card gonna follow that when he was in the opening match?
You're right, exactly. That's funny.
Because Mike and Bones are listening, I'm gonna just put this back up one more time just so y'all got to explain this, man. They got to do something, man. Maybe they get these ratings up if they put a little more work into the aesthetics. I'm just saying.
It's a poor choice of tights for CM Punk.
Exactly.
It's got pink in it. It's super tight and short.
And loose. It's tight and loose at the same time.
Tight and loose. Yeah, that's a bad combination. It should be one or the other. It shouldn't be both. God damn it, Nick.
Yeah,
CM Punk got so many colors going on. We got orange, we got white, we got pink, we got black, we got green. We got all kinds of colors on our body right now.
So before we get into the next segment, I did get this photo, so let me put it up and see. Okay, hold on, let me remove this comment. But wrestlers with the most losses in 2023. So wow,
WWE wrestlers.
So
they show the matches that they've wrestled and the losses.
So Bayley wrestled 48 matches, 42 wow. Finn Balor and Io Shirai. So this is gonna be great. So Finn Balor, the guy who just wrestled for the world title, lost 45 matches, lost 36. Io Shirai, your women's Money in the Bank winner, 45 matches, 36 losses. Marcel Barthel, part of Imperium, 41 matches, 35 losses. Fabian Eichner, 40 part of Imperium, 40 matches, 34 losses. LA Knight, the guy that we're sitting here talking about, that maybe Kevin Nash knows something we don't know. Wrestled 42 matches, 34 losses. Who is this? Sonya Deville, 35 matches, wrestled, 32 losses. Baron Corbin, 34 matches.
I was surprised he got that many wins.
31 losses.
I thought it was going to be 0 wins because every time I see him wrestle, he loses.
Your men's Money in the Bank winner, 48. Well, this isn't that bad compared to everybody else.
Yeah, compared to everybody else. Yeah,
48 matches, 29 losses. Oh my God, this one is ridiculous. The Miz, 25 matches, 25 losses. The Miz haven't won a match all year.
Yep.
Former 2 or 3 time WWE champion, former like 4 or 5 time Intercontinental champion.
He's a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, he is a Grand Slam champion. Former Money in the Bank winner, former Unified Tag Team champion. Come on, man. This man hadn't won a match on TV all year. And these are guys that's on TV every week. And wow, that's why they need win-loss records. Like
I think that's why they won't do win-loss records. Because they're doing nonsense like this. They would have to rethink the wins and losses. They don't want to put much thought into what they're doing. That'll be too much on the brain cells.
It takes some fans to come by and be like, "Hey, man, this is what." I think there's a website. I think they call them like Stat Tracks or something like. I've heard people talk about it, that there's a website that actually tracks all of this stuff, all the wrestling wins and losses. But again, though, if you call yourself sports entertainment, the first word in there is sports, so there has to be a sports element. There's not a sport being played on earth where they don't keep wins.
Right, no stats. Your stats shouldn't be walks on the beach and own a poodle. Like that shouldn't be your stat. When they come into the ring and they get that thing on the bottom showing your handle, your social media handle, and maybe a crazy ass stat there. It should be actually wrestling related, and your win-loss has to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's up, Bones?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, Bones?
What's up?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how much of the show you caught, but we were just doing a news show today. We didn't really get into anything specific, but what's going on in the world of AEW besides those terrible Collision ratings?
They actually put on a pretty good show Saturday, despite the ratings, because it was more sort of like a storyline driven show. It started out with CM Punk. He came out and did a promo about Samoa Joe because dating back to 2003, he's 0-3 against Samoa Joe in the Ring of Honor days. He's never beaten him or whatever, so that was the theme of the night. And throughout the night, they would show clips or videos of their previous matches and they build up to the main event. The match itself wasn't even the best match of the night. But CM Punk did get the victory with a roll up. They more so did an angle where he kind of beat up throughout the whole match and just kind of pulled like a rabbit out of his hat, kind of. But FTR versus Bullet Club, that was a pretty good match. That was actually probably match of the night. That was a real good match. Scorpio Sky, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He made his return, and he won. Miro cut a good promo as always. He's one of the best promos they got over there in AEW.
Rusev?
Yeah.
Wow, I got to listen to that then.
Yeah. He been cutting some good promos. They more so just kind of let him do it, like be himself or whatever. I thought by now they would have his wife over there, but she's not over there. But
she's too busy showing her ass off on the internet so everybody can see her.
Yeah, I wasn't finna go into that, but yeah. Yep. So that was basically it for Collision. That was one of the better shows they did. But I listened to like the last 10 minutes, and I just hate that they got it on a Saturday night, because not only is it on a Saturday, but just the time slot too. And like you were saying, once college football start coming, it's really going, I think, hurt their numbers.
And so again, I mean, so you say you called last 10 minutes. So you heard the so you probably so you did catch our conversation about the ratings though. So
yeah,
because my whole thing was they're not up against anything right now. So when college, so here's the thing, college football runs on Saturday nights and WWE does pay-per-views on Saturday night. So what happens when you got both of those elements right now?
And not just that, but remember they got Rampage on Friday nights too at 10 o'clock.
They still do. Okay, so they still do it.
So I wish they would have put more focus on that, because I feel like Tony Khan, he focused on too much things at once instead of narrowing down and just trying to figure out one thing. He got too many things going on at once, because he also got Ring of Honor going on too. So it's like he's like the Mad Hatter, or like the wild scientist kind of. He just got too much.
Where could I find Ring of Honor? Because I damn sure don't see it on TV.
They got a streaming service for I think $10 a month, I believe.
So there you go, Venkat. In order to watch again, we got to pay more money.
But look, Lord, that's the weird thing, because he has a streaming service for Ring of Honor, but not for AEW. Like for AEW, if you have TNT, you can watch the previous week. So that's the only way you can catch the previous episodes. But
wait a minute. Didn't AEW used to have a streaming service? I know they used to have a streaming service, because they were talking about putting all the old, that they were going to put that first All In, or the one that the Bucks and Cody did. They were talking about putting it on that platform. So I know at one point they did have it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're probably right, but I know more about Impact's streaming service than AEW. They actually have an app on Roku. You can actually access that. But I don't know. AEW, they, before they do another event, they got to seriously look into getting their product visible without having to do a lot for the consumer standpoint. I can't stand it, man, because I want to, I like, that's another reason why WWE is doing so well. It's so easy to access. There's no strain or stress. I mean, I kind of wish I was paying for it. The price is so cheap. I get it for free because of my internet thing. They throw it in for free. But, I mean, that's one of the best deals, because it's not just wrestling. It's movies. It's shows. It's all kinds of things, sports on Peacock. So they need to up that game, man.
Hey Trevor, at some point I got an MLW review too.
Yeah. I want to get to that too. I just wanted to, because I could have swore AEW had a streaming service, man. I'm almost certain they did.
They have like Fight TV and everything like that. But like I said, if you want to watch the previous week, you can go on TNT, and that's how I usually watch like the previous matches or whatever for Rampage and for Dynamite.
Oh, Bones, does the UFC app still work, or is it a different way to access UFC stuff?
It still works, but they don't have any like recent fights on there. They mostly have like the older fights, and they have other events like grappling competitions and lower promotion fights and stuff like that, like Titan FC and stuff.
Has it changed anywhere since its merger with WWE? Like the pricing or the place to access the pay-per-views?
I haven't been on there since, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
So what's going on? What else is going on in AEW besides Collision? And yeah, I heard the Collision card was great. It's just that the problem is all those names you mentioned, they all cater to a casual, a hardcore audience, and I think that's the problem. They don't have anybody that can cater to a cat. They need to grab. Tony needs to be like, listen, in order to be sustainable, we're in a wrestling boom right now. In order to be sustainable, I need to capitalize off of this. He needs to cater to some of the I keep saying casual hardcore. He needs to cater to some of the casual fans. He has to.
Hey, another thing too, I want to point out that the first Collision was in Chicago, Punk's hometown, and ever since then they've been running it in Canada. So I feel like another reason too why the crowd been real electric and they've been having a good pop. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen when they come back to the States and they're not in Chicago.
One thing I want to just mention, like, so CM Punk is in that tournament, that Owen Hart tournament, and I was hoping that CM Punk would lose. I was hoping that Samoa Joe was going to win that, because this is the issue, with wrestling. Everything is so predictable. Everything has to be done such a certain way. And there's no like trials and tribulations, no ups and downs, no shades of gray. It's just always black and white. And, with him coming back, that's a story in itself. CM Punk having to go through a loss, having to go through some trials. You never have that kind of storytelling really in wrestling, where a guy can go on a losing streak and then pick up from there and go. Like, once you lose, you're just losing forever. Once you win, you're just winning for a long period of time. There's like no thought behind what they're doing. It's just very lazy booking. So that's another reason why with Roman Reigns, I was refreshed to see Cody Rhodes not getting that cliche win at that WrestleMania, and they keep going with it. But CM Punk, like, he's just come back. I don't know, like maybe his contract is guaranteeing that he wins up until a certain time, and then he can't lose unless it's like a really huge event, and then he goes out losing, and he probably get cheated on or whatever. But I would have really liked to have seen Samoa Joe go ahead and beat him, keep that whole run and that legacy of Samoa Joe beating his ass for decades. I thought that would have been an interesting story. No, I'm just saying. It just wrestling is too.
What Mike says, right?
What?
Venkat trying to make CM Punk in the
Lord, oh boy.
And to play devil's advocate, I feel like that's the story, because most people, like, he's going to get booed once they come back to the States and they're not in Chicago or Toronto. Or Canada. He's going to get booed, and I feel like most of the fans don't like CM Punk. So to piss people off even more, they're going to push him just to kind of like dig at you, and they're going to align him with FTR. You're going to have CM FTR, and that's going to be gold right there.
See, but like first, Triple H, which is one of the few things I respect in his wrestling career, what he did for Batista. So when him and Batista went at it, you figured Batista would probably lose, or if he lose, he would win like another match, and it'll be 1-1, like it'll just be my turn, your turn. You win one, I win one. Nah, Triple H lost all three. I love that. Like, that's the kind of things that should be done, where it's not the old stereotypical crap. Oh, we're gonna have a trilogy of matches, and of course somebody's gonna win one, and somebody's gonna win the other one, and then they'll decide who wins the last one. And it's like, no, just do things that are like unexpected, or that feels organic. You don't have to just do it because you have a lawyer that's negotiating your contract, and you can't have yourself or your gimmick or your character look bad. It's like the MCU against Sony with Spider-Man. Well, we're lending out Spider-Man, but we can't make our Spider-Man look bad because it's our property and we need to protect our property. I'm done with that crap. Just do what's right for the business. What they always claim, it's for the business, but you never see nobody sacrificing or doing things for the business. So when CM Punk won in that match, I was like, my God, does he have to have everything? Let him lose the goddamn tournament, and then he can move over to his feud that he has over here, and he could do what he has to do over there. You don't have to win everything, and that's lazy booking to me.
Yeah. I think they're going to have him to win. Like I said, just to take a dig at the fans and just to have him, just to give him something else to brag and boast about. You know, because the actual version of CM Punk is coming real soon, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's going on over in MLW?
All right, so MLW, a couple weeks ago, Alex Kane won the Battle Riot, and that was the season finale of last season. So this season they did maybe I would say 6-7 episodes, and it's all been leading up to a pay-per-view they had on Fight Pass or Fight TV this past Saturday. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was watching the UFC thing, but I kind of caught up with it later. Alexander Hammerstone is like their guy over there. He's their version of, he's not like Roman Reigns, but he's their Roman Reigns. He's their top guy. He's a face. He's been with them since I can remember and since I started wrestling. He's had the belt for, I would say, about a year or so, maybe even longer than that. I wasn't expecting him to lose the belt, but Alex Kane ended up winning. He's part of a faction called Bumaye Fight Club. It's a bunch of just black people, and they just be thrashing people, man, and just suplexing the hell out of everybody. And I love seeing it. And his financial backer, because it was a mystery on who was backing him financially, it turned out to be Don King. So he got Don King in his pocket, storyline wise.
Okay, I was about to say, what the hell?
Storyline wise, yeah, because they come out with, you know, just like flashy and stuff like that. And I like the storyline of, you know, I was wondering too, like, damn, where they get all this money from or whatever, you know, because sometimes he'll have a match where if you can suplex him or pin him or submit him, he'll give you a bag of money. So, you know, there was like kind of living the lavish lifestyle, and they kind of explained it, you know, because Don King is backing them up. So that was real big for them and big for Alex Kane because by far that's his biggest victory. He's never been the world heavyweight champion. He's been like the lower level champions, like, you know, their version of the IC belt, the open weight, the middleweight championship. So that's real big for him. I'm real excited to see what he's gonna do with the belt. And in the tag team division, you had the Calling, which is Ravens faction. They became the new tag team champions. So that's also pretty cool to see. And I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with that. And I just love the fact that they don't have Raven wrestling. He just come out there and he'll literally just sit down in the chair and just stare at you the whole time, and just, you know, direct people to beat other people up. And I like that because they don't got him taking bumps and going through tables and doing hardcore matches. You know, it's like he realizes he's not that Raven no more. He's just there to get other people over. So I like that a lot. And that's pretty much in the MLW. So you got a new heavyweight champion, Alex Kane, part of the Bumaye Fight Club, and you also got new tag team champions in the Calling, which is part of our Ravens faction.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out real quick to Mike for all the hating in the chat. Keep up the good work, Mike.
Also, just a reminder, you can catch every episode of MLW on YouTube of this past season. So
that's where you should be able to that's where you should be able to catch AEW shows. Probably get a bigger audience there.
Hey, real quick, back to AEW. I forgot to mention that Malachi Black is in the beginning of a feud with Andrade El Idolo, and I am definitely looking forward to that match because that's going to be a banger.
Yeah, that's an old NXT feud.
Yeah, you remember? Yep.
Yeah. Them two always put on a good clinic for you. So nothing going on with New Japan?
No, not as of late. They're finna start up the G1 Climax. I'm gonna try to keep up with it, but that's hard to keep up with because they have multiple, you know, matches, you know, per week or whatever, and it's a tournament where everybody literally fighting everybody. But Willow Nightingale, she lost her belt. She got injured. She's supposed to be competing next week against, I believe this week against Athena because she healed up. So that should be a good match. And Trevor, I know you said that Athena, she's god awful on the mic and she don't really got much personality, but her latest work been pretty good. She turned heel and she been just thrashing females in the ring.
So I saw a video. I don't know who the hell sent me the video, or maybe it just popped up on my feed where she like beat the brakes off of this one chick, man. I'm like, good Lord. Like, man,
I don't know the full story behind it, so I'm not going to judge. But a lot of people are saying that she just like straight up bullied the girl and just took advantage of her because apparently the girl was like kind of like newer in there. She's not a vet. She's kind of like newer, and they're saying that Athena was just being like real stiff with her, and some people are considering it to be kind of unprofessional. But
yeah,
Sounds like she's being like New Jack was.
yeah, it's something similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them moves, man, was kind of. I'm like, good night. Like the way she was just dropping her on the floor and stuff. I'm like, come on, man. You know, you got a wrestler basically giving you their body, and you taking liberties and stuff like that.
Right, you're violating that trust. Yeah. I hate that crap. Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, but that Andrade and Malachi are going to be fire though. But I'm gonna tell y'all, so the best, I want to say one of the best NXT title matches I ever seen, and this is when NXT was the black and gold NXT, Triple H's NXT, was Johnny Gargano and Andrade. Man,
yep,
that was wow. I mean, and I love Gargano versus Adam Cole, the first one when Gargano won, but man, that Andrade and Gargano, man, that was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was.
Man, that was crazy. So, Venkat, you probably gonna have to make a thing for this, like your little intro thing. But I do, and I need the I mean, I know it's probably branded with other people's channel, but you gotta make one for this channel, the Hill Minister soapbox.
Oh yeah, I thought about that. Yeah, I do need to get around to doing that for sure.
But
hey, what question? Have you heard anything about Bray Wyatt? Any updates on what's going on?
Yes. Actually, I did. And I started to add it to the show notes, but I didn't. He is still with the company. Obviously, people have been asking about him. He is something's going on medically, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for him to get the clear. Like that's the long and short of it. Something is going on medically that they're not disclosing, obviously, and they're waiting to get the clear. They're still going forward with the Uncle Howdy stuff, which I would kill dead right there. I would just be like, nope. Ever since
that's a bad idea.
Since that elbow drop off of the off of the rafter that missed by a mile, I would be like, nope, that's it.
I still don't understand how the hell he missed with like a 20.
Yeah, bro, he missed like by 20 feet. I mean, I once they did that, it was you know what it was like? They should have killed the Fiend when Goldberg beat him with that shitty jackhammer. Like that should have been it. The Fiend should have never existed anymore. That should have been it. They killed the Fiend in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, but he's still apparently something's going on. They're just waiting for him to get the clear.
So every time Goldberg wrestles in Saudi Arabia, it's a bad match.
Yeah.
A bad match.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, there have been rumors that Tony Khan is going to sign Goldberg for the All In show.
I hope so.
I'm praying he don't. I hope he don't.
I hope so.
I hope
that's what Mike. See what Mike's saying. He hope Goldberg needs to stay away.
Nah, man. Goldberg still got enough.
No, he almost put the Undertaker, man. Come on now, you can't let him back in the ring after that.
He what?
He almost killed the Undertaker in Saudi Arabia.
That's not his fault.
What you mean it's not his fault?
It's not his fault. Undertaker's fault.
Man.
It is his fault.
Yeah, Goldberg needed. Yeah, that's that. So Goldberg is prime example of what I be talking about when I'm like, y'all need to just give it up. So we didn't talk about it because we didn't do the show last week. With Sting doing that dive. Didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, he did. It's two for something.
You got me on that one. You got me.
So again, so Mr. Hater.
Who's the hater?
Me.
No, actually, I agree with you on this one, Trevor. I got no defense for that.
So Mr. Hater, that's always saying, hey man, Sting is that dude. Sting just need to wrap the shit up and be done with it.
Wait a minute.
You don't need to be taking no dives.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Sting is a professional here. Sting did a move, and he missed shot. He's done that when he was younger, and missed shot. Anybody that can happen to anybody. Now, if you're telling me this is like weekly occurrence, like he's constantly hurting himself, and it's like a liability. It's not. It's not even nowhere near that place. I think Sting is doing the right thing.
64-year-old man.
What?
A 64-year-old man.
Okay, you make it sound like he's like 104. Come on. He's 64. I mean, you're almost 64, Trevor. You're in your 40s. I mean, you're like 20 years away.
You know what? My big ass wouldn't be taking no top rope, no top ladder splashes either. I wouldn't be climbing. Hey, I got a branch right now that I need to cut off of one of my trees. I don't want to do it because I don't want to get on the ladder. So I ain't going up there. I'm good.
But how you gonna tell a guy that's been on the road all these years, that's been doing this stuff for so long, if he feels he could go, he could go. I thought like after Seth Rollins almost killed his career with that stupid buckle bomb crap. I don't know why he had to do that to Sting, but whatever. That almost ended his career. Not have made him a disabled person, but then he came back from it, and he's pick and choose his moments when he went in the ring, and I think he's done a great job so far. But this one little accident that happened, that I don't think that should stop anything from happening.
You see what Chris says?
Oh Lord, Sting! Look, what is the deal with older people? Like they don't get no respect, and they're not even old.
45 in wrestling is like older people, not 64.
45. Ric Flair was like a 8-time, 9-time world champion at that point. He still had to get to 16. It's not like that. It's they should have a little bit. The crazy Derby Allen. Oh Lord, they should have more respect for these older wrestlers, man. Like he's not like Sting is not a visibly, oh my God, old. He's so old, he should be gone. He's still very confident, capable in the ring. There we go with that damn silence.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Trevor.
No, that's why I muted myself as I'm calling my daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, I just muted myself. I want you to hear me calling her name out. You give me something to drink, please. You don't have to look so happy about it. Thank you, baby. So,
one thing I'm looking forward to the debut of Indus Sher on Monday Night Raw. I'm actually
who?
Indus Sher.
Oh, you know what? I like them.
Yeah, me too. I like them too. Yeah, because I'm a fan of Veer Mahan. And I feel like if they actually give him a push, because like remember last time he was supposed to be debuting for like
he was coming for like 4 months. I wish I could have that feeling. Yeah, I like that. I really like that team though. I wouldn't mind seeing them just beat the brakes off of Sami KO and take the belts off of them. At least that'll make for a good feud with them chasing them. Because that's a big, beefy son of a bitch team. Like they look badass, man. Like they could just like if they beat you up, then it's legit. It ain't no it ain't no playing there.
I think the key is too they got Jinder Mahal as the manager role and cutting promos and speaking for him too. I feel like with that they can definitely help them get over. I just hope they stay consistent with it. And don't split them up or break somebody away or something like that, Just stay consistent with it, and I feel like they can be a real threat to the tag team division if they get pushed the right way.
No, Chris, they did make I saw them on Raw a few weeks ago. I mean, they're probably not on there consistently, but I saw them on Raw a few weeks ago.
Who,
Indus Sher.
Huh.
Hey, quick question. Has the Street Profits ever won the championship, the tag team title?
Yeah, they were champions for almost a year.
Yeah, they won the Raw tag team belts, the SmackDown tag team belts, and NXT. They won all three.
Why are they not getting shots right now?
Because they black.
Oh,
No, but no, I that's what I'm saying, man. That's why that's why I always said there should be one set of tag team belts. And so the way I see it is all the tag teams should just be on one brand. Like that's
well,
it.
how would that work though?
So you said
So at least everybody could challenge for the belts. Like, so okay, that because WWE's never explained this. What's the logic behind you having a tag team champ that can go from brand to brand? What makes them want to go to SmackDown? They're a Raw team. So what makes them one day wake up and be like, you know what? I want to go to SmackDown and see if anybody wants to challenge me. What logically does that?
A top 10 would logically do that, where they would have to defend.
You're talking sense. We're not talking sense. We're talking WWE nonsensical booking. Whereas with my logic, put all the tag teams on one show. So you have all your tag teams over there. Because you literally saying, hey, Sammy will be like, the only time Sammy and KO go to SmackDown is when they want to talk to the Usos. That's it.
Hey,
that makes no sense.
So you think that, like for example, if all the tag teams are on Raw, then you think basically SmackDown should be left with no tag teams at all and not have a tag
None at all. SmackDown should have the mid-card title. They got the US title and they got Roman. That's it. That's all they need. SmackDown is a 2-hour show. So SmackDown is a 2-hour show.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
SmackDown is a 2-hour show, and you dedicate the majority of the time to Roman anyway. So why have tag teams? Whereas Raw is a 3-hour show when you could just put them all over there.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Oh God, yeah, the women's tag team title. Oh, geez,
terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, geez. I mean. Man.
All teams that was contending for that belt, only 2 of them are legit tag teams. One of them being Kaden and Katana, and they lose every time. I see them wrestle on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, why is Kaden and Katana losing every week?
And they're probably like arguably the best tag team that they got, because really it's only 2 legit tag teams. Them and I can't even think of the other female tag team that's a real tag.
You got Chelsea Green, and you got Chelsea and Sonya. You got Bailey and Io, not a tag team, basically. You got and Ronda and Shayna broke up. Who the hell again? Why isn't Piper Niven? Why isn't Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae?
Yeah, that's the other tag team. Yeah, that's the other one.
So they are an official tag team?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy, man. And one thing, y'all know I love Triple H, but he has done dick with the women's division. Like he has for some reason he booked the NXT women amazingly, and now that they're on the main roster, like he can't book the women for shit. Like he forgot how to book. You got Piper Niven sitting in the background. Like, come on, man, that's crazy.
You got Bailey coming out to big time bets and the man. I'm confused as to which one she's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Becky Lynch fan. So
I'm just laughing at Mike, man. Mike just got a lot.
I think Becky Lynch to me is she need to get some steam back. I guess Trish and Zoe are tag teams. So Chris asks, where's Odyssey Jones? See again, Odyssey Jones, big black guy, Mark Henry spawn, look just like Mark Henry.
Oh yeah, he got and
they could have him run a Hall of Pain gimmick, and you couldn't tell the difference.
Yep,
that guy is awesome, man. That big dude is awesome, but where is he?
Yeah, that's crazy. You got these guys on the sidelines. That's crazy.
Yeah, Nikki Cross should be a female Mankind. That would actually be good. But the problem, because they have her playing crazy, then they have her playing sweet. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, but do you put her in a mask?
No.
That would be great, man. If she came out with that Mankind mask and take it off every night, boy, that would be fantastic, man. A Nikki Cross running a Mankind gimmick. Oh man, that would be great.
Wait, what do you guys think about Charlotte Flair? I saw her briefly. Like, what is her involvement since she came back?
She gonna beat the Japanese. See, they got the women's, they got the SmackDown, and I say they got the women's titles all messed up. Period. Because who's Rhea's next challenger?
Right.
Again.
Who?
Natalia again.
Oh, get out of here! Get off my TV. And then you wonder why I don't watch Raw every week. So Asuka is the women's champion over on SmackDown, and they got her feuding with Bianca and Charlotte. So that's a good thing. I guess they're setting up a triple threat for SummerSlam. That should be good. It's crazy because Bianca didn't get her rematch, and then Charlotte just inserted herself in, and she got a championship match. Again, that don't make any sense, but
typical Charlotte Flair, man.
Huh?
Typical Charlotte Flair. Get missing and for a title shot.
But I think that's the gimmick that they're running with her now, that she could just, because she says it in her promos. She'd be like, because Bianca was like, how do you get to skip the line? And then she was like, I'm Charlotte Flair. I can do whatever I want to do. So they're really, that's her gimmick now, is like, I don't have to wait. I don't have to wrestle anybody, nothing. I could take 6 months off and come back and get a title shot. That's her new gimmick now.
But Charlotte, this is a side note here. Charlotte Flair, I saw her, they were talking about her on CNBC about being like a spokesperson for certain brands and whatnot. And like there's a bidding war for Charlotte Flair. I guess she has like some other outside interests outside of WWE. So she's like a big star. So maybe that's why she has the leverage to come back to WWE, you know, and get that position she has, because seems like she's in need or in demand, I should say.
Yeah, she's a huge star. Like, I mean, when she's on, people love to hate her. I don't think anybody, as far as just being in the ring, is more crisp than her when she's on. Like when Charlotte is on, she is on. Like nobody's really that. And I never forget that match with her and Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series a couple years ago. Those two, I ain't even gonna say the word I was gonna use, but them two women beat the crap out of each other. Like that was a fight. And because Charlotte took the place of Becky, because that's when Becky got her nose broken. But them women went in there and had it out. But Charlotte, my wife, you know, thinks she's like the ugliest woman in the world. But I mean,
yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But Charlotte has that appeal. She doesn't. To me, she doesn't have any hips. Like she's too like a pencil almost. She just, you know, doesn't have an ounce of curves. So you know that type of stuff matters. because when you look at Bianca and you're like, oh, and then you look at Charlotte and you're like, you know, but that's neither here nor there. So almost 2 hours in, we're not going to get to all three of my scenarios, but
yeah, we will. We can.
No, we ain't getting to all three of. Nah, hell no, not especially.
It's not going to be that long. It's not going to be that long.
Yeah, they are going to be long. Trust me, they are going to be long.
Let's go.
I'm not going to do. All right, let's see which one I'm going to do first. So we're doing a new segment called "Would Things Be Different If?" So we're going to give we're going to give what really happened, and we're going to give what was supposed to happen, and then we're going to play off of the what was supposed to happen scenario and say, had that happened, how would it have changed the business? So everybody got the rules. Boom, that's it. It's not really rules, but so I have three scenarios, but I purposely picked these because I knew they would be long. I didn't know that we were going to go so long with the news, but so let me see which one I want to use first. Oh man, see, I really want to do this one, but you know what? Let's do this one first. Let's go out with a bang. So Venkat, listen close. Let me get through it first. So we're gonna go back to the year. We're gonna go back to this date, the date that goes down in infamy. Let's go back to July 7, 1996. Everybody knows that. This is from Scott Hall. Scott Hall says this. This is quoted from Scott Hall in the interview. We had no idea who it was gonna be. The whole third guy thing came up by accident. I remember Kev and I called Brett and spoke to him. Kev spoke to him and we told him it was really fun working at WCW. I was really laid back. It was really laid back, guaranteed money. It was easy. We were so used to being in a Shark Tank in New York. Coming to Atlanta was like being in a country club. It was really tame in the locker room in WCW compared to New York. We told Brett he should come down. Bischoff was interested. He was offering him a pretty sweet deal, but Brett wasn't interested. We wanted it to be Hulk, but Hulk had creative control in his contract. He didn't have to do anything he didn't want to do. We went to the ring. We hadn't even met Hulk yet. I met him briefly at WrestleMania 9, but I didn't know Hulk. We actually went to the ring in Daytona, and Hogan wasn't even there yet. He was on a jet flying across the country from shooting a movie. Bischoff wanted it to be Hulk, but before we went out, Bischoff told us, if Hulk doesn't show, I'm going to send out Sting. Here's the question. The NWO took wrestling to new heights. Would it have worked if Sting was the third guy instead of Hulk Hogan?
Well, first of all, Sting was in the match. So he's already out.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but he was in the match already. But so as far as Sting being the third guy, it would have mattered, but not as long as it would have mattered. And I don't think it would have mattered as much. It mattered as much because of Hulk Hogan and the representation he has for being in WWF. That's why it mattered. Sting being WCW, that would have mattered. It definitely would have, but it just wouldn't have been the same thing. So this is a real easy one because, yeah, there's no way you would have had that NWO industry-changing NWO run if that NWO thing was connected to Sting. It had to be that way. It just made more sense. I think what's even more interesting is what if Bret Hart would have came over in '96 and he was the one instead of Hogan? Boy, that would have been something interesting.
I'm so shocked you saying that. I am shocked.
That would have been like, wow.
I am floored right now.
Because I remember back then, I used to want to always see Sting wrestle Bret Hart because they both used the same finisher maneuver. I always wanted to see that. So many match situations could have happened back then. So yeah, it would have been interesting, especially coming off of WWF, coming over to WCW. That would have been huge.
So okay, so what do you think? Because what I just read was directly from Scott Hall. That wasn't me making it up. What do you think about, first of all, the arrogance of Hulk Hogan? Because Bischoff has always said it that he approached Hogan with the idea, but Hogan didn't want to do it because of his merchandise sales. And then at the last minute, he was like, you know what? This might not be a bad idea. I think I agree with you, Venkat. It couldn't have been Sting. The Bret Hart would have been. I never thought about the Bret Hart angle because I didn't know Bret Hart was an option. I think Bret Hart would have changed the game, but again, nothing would have lasted as long as Hogan because Hogan was tied. Well, I know everybody knows he was a heel when he first started, but everybody knows Hulk Hogan as being the babyface from New York. And the way they booked that storyline so perfect, they made it seem like Vince McMahon was sending them to do his bidding. And back in 1996, brother, I bought every bit of it, hook, line, and sinker. But Sting, I don't think it would have lasted a year because I don't think Sting is charismatic enough. Bro, we don't give Hulk Hogan enough credit. Hulk Hogan is one charismatic SOB.
No, Sting is very charismatic, but the problem is not that Sting lacked charisma, is that Sting was actively in WCW. We had seen him in WCW. Flip the question, what if there was let's say DX came about earlier, because DX came after the fact of NWO back in 97. Let's say there was a DX element in WWF in 96, and let's say Sting jumped ship to come over to WWF and join DX. That would have been huge. That would have been a big deal. That's what I'm saying. It's a big deal because of where they're coming from. Now, Hogan was already in WCW, but Hulk Hogan is a special case because he pretty much branded and made WWE. He was the guy. He was the face of WWE. That's why he transitioned so well. Sting isn't in the right position to do that. But if you reverse it and had Sting coming in 96, that would have been a big deal, I believe.
So, because Mike actually makes me want to think of another question for next time. So he says Hogan was pulled and dragged to stardom. He was the greatest stash creation. He wasn't Vince McMahon's creation, but he was Vern Gagne's creation. But my question is, well, we know we're not going to do this. A question for another time. Who is Vince McMahon's greatest creation? I say it's John Cena or the Undertaker, but that's a question for another time. So Sting was the perfect foil, because you remember how the storyline went afterwards is to where they started saying, well, Sting was like, well, you're not going to see me around here anymore, because they were doubting that maybe he was the third man. And then that's when Crow Sting came. Okay, so let's do it this way. Sting is the third man. Hulk Hogan now is the baby face that has to take on the NWO. What does that look like?
That wouldn't be good either, because Hulk Hogan was getting booed out the building in 94 and 95. It wouldn't have worked. Nope. The audience had already was over Hogan. And even in the WWF, where Yokozuna sat on him, they were already over him. Huh?
They were cheering that.
Exactly. Everybody was done with Hogan. Hulk Hogan needed that more than anybody. He needed that change. You know, Sting could be good or bad. The Crow Sting kind of blended bad and good, but Hogan needed that more than the other guys.
I'm so shocked you saying this, just because I thought you were going grandstand for Sting and how he would have been able to fit in any character and this and that. Nobody could have played that better than Hogan. But Bret Hart, now you're making me wonder, like, damn, how would that have been? Because Bret Hart didn't cut that this is bullshit promo yet. So he didn't really do the double turn with Austin yet. So he didn't turn into that version of Bret Hart that really could be a heel. Bones, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That version of Bret Hart leading a heel NWO stable would have been phenomenal. Like, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, and we've seen Bret Hart.
MD saying Luger would have had to been the face. Oh, no, get out of here with that one.
Well, why are you hating on Luger?
Nobody wants to see Luger. Like, Sting played the face so good because he went silent for 18 months.
Yeah,
that was the best. I'm telling you, WCW did a lot of good things, but they did a lot of bad things the way they ended that Hogan Sting match. But Sting going silent for 18 months was the best thing in the world, because nobody knew what he was thinking. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Luger don't got no charisma at all.
Yeah, that's true. But the other thing too is with classic Hulk Hogan, you're reading this from Scott Hall's mouth, from his perspective. The whole thing was kind of different when Hulk Hogan talked about it. You know, he just said he wasn't interested in it or whatever early. It was like not even a thing, and it was like last minute. You know, it wasn't the same way or order that you just read it out with Hogan. So Hogan always has like alternate versions of the way stories go down. So it's just kind of funny.
So okay, a Sting led on. Hey, Mike, crazy.
Oh boy, what did he say, bro?
So Bones, you there? Oh, so
he might be on mute.
a Sting led NWO. How long you giving that?
A Sting-led NWO, maybe 6 months to a year.
Oh wow, that's short, huh? Because the original version of the NWO lasted for what, like 2 good years before they start messing it up.
Right.
I know the name lasted much longer, but the version that was the best, because you know Eric Bischoff was considering giving them their own show, their own the Nitro. I think he said he was going to give them Nitro. So it's kind of like Vince McMahon was talking about when he got WCW, he was going to give them Monday Night Raw and then have WWE be on Thursday Night SmackDown. And Eric Bischoff said that the Thunder show, because Thunder wasn't out yet, but they were going to create a show and give the NWO he was going to give them like the first hour. But I think they did like a version of it and it tanked, so they pivoted from it and just was like, nah. But yeah, I agree, man. The Sting,
they had their own pay-per-view.
You remember that show?
Yeah, that was sold out.
That was NWO sold, but that was when Hogan. That's when the Butcher came back with the birthday cake.
Yeah,
Hogan's birthday. That was horrendous.
But that's Hulk Hogan. That's not.
But didn't they beat up Butcher after that?
No, they always do that. They always did that.
That was terrible.
Hey, Turbo, hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, for me, because I'm a '90s baby, like I grew up in the whole Hulkamania era. And for me, he was like my childhood hero. You know, like there was no Superman and Spider-Man. For me, it was Hulk Hogan. You feel me? Like he was that dude for me. So when he turned and went to the NWO, like that literally shattered my heart and like broke my soul for me. You know, because I was a kid at the time. You know, so I definitely think that Hogan made it better than Steen would have made it. But it definitely would have been interesting to see what boy Brett would have did with it, because I think that would have been pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But that definitely Hollywood Hogan was that dude, man. His charisma, and then obviously the theme song, the Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix.
That Voodoo Child, oh yeah, that's what put it over, man.
Him playing the guitar, and then with the belt and all that kind of stuff, like that was it right there for me.
So because Mike says he doesn't think. I don't think Sting was good as a faction leader. Because let's not forget the dudes with attitude. His gimmick really needs a loner. Yeah, he needs to be alone, or always fighting from underneath. MD says that they had that one episode of Nitro, yeah, and the stage was fire. And I liked how they blacked out the how they did the black and white. But so Hogan, okay, so here's a question. Like, here's a serious question. Think about it. Because Hogan's NWO heel run was about 2 solid years, and those was 2 solid mega years. I ain't talking about 2 years of hit or miss. I'm talking about mega, to where he made Vince McMahon had to change his whole entire way of doing wrestling.
Yep.
What was better, Hogan's heel run or Hogan's face run? Because I think pound for pound. We're talking about pound for pound, because Hogan face run was obviously way longer. I think pound for pound, Hogan had a better heel run, because I'm like you, Bones. When he turned that night and dropped that leg on Macho Man, a single tear rolled down my eye. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was pissed, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't gonna admit it, but yeah, I shed a tear too. I ain't gonna lie.
Because I'm a Hogamaniac. I mean, I went to Hogan's shopping when I was in Orlando not too long ago. But his I got his wristbands and stuff like that. Like his friggin' is Hulk Hogan. Like who didn't? Well, Venkat gonna say he didn't like Hulk Hogan, but who didn't? I
was not a pukester, as Macho Man would say. I was not a pukester.
Bro, like Hulk Hogan, man. Hulk Hogan was that dude, man. But what do you think was his heel run better? Just in it's 2 years, so you got a small sample size. But I think it was to me it was no question better because of the impact that it had on the business.
Yeah, the NWO Hulk Hogan is way better than the red and yellow Hogan. That's not even.
Especially the WCW red and yellow. That was horrendous.
Oh, that was the worst thing. That was
Yeah.
the worst thing ever.
So Mike says, I think the face run was easy and fake, like it was a fluff. The heel run was edgy and creative. Yeah, it was. It made Vince McMahon. It made Vince McMahon change the way he does business. Like that.
And that's what I was talking about earlier with these predictable runs and things with CM Punk coming back. Oh, he can't lose. So, and that's something I said before he came back. I was like, oh my God, I hope he don't come. He won't. He's going to come in. He's going to win a whole bunch of matches, and when he finally loses, it's going to be a while from now, and it's going to be a high-profile situation. That's the only way he's going to lose. It's too predictable. Nobody. I don't want to see that crap. With the NWO, there was unpredictable things happening all the time. But even the NWO got stale because of Hogan's involvement, where they just wouldn't give up anything. Like, they should have give and take with the Horsemen. The Horsemen could have had their nights, and the NWO could have had their nights. But they just made it where the NWO just steaming over everybody. Everybody got spray paint.
Van
What the
Gang,
hell is that noise?
Come on, because I was rocking. I think MD in the truck. I was rocking with you, but come on, man. Let's.
What did I say that was wrong?
The Horsemen at that time was just a bunch of broken old men. Come on, man. They wasn't beating up no Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan. What killed the NWO was them adding a new member every week.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. To me, that's what
killed the NWO.
Yeah, every time he was Nitro, it was a new person joining. You know, it was a commentator joining, a referee joining.
So you're telling me when Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan went 1-on-1, there was no reason for Ric Flair to win a match?
Not NWO Hulk Hogan, no.
Oh my God. I don't think so, man. I just think
they've had the perfect spoils, Sting and Goldberg. That was it. They had the two heroes, Sting and Goldberg. That's who should have ended the NWO. The problem was they had a new member every week. The Giant being added was good because it made sense. But when you start adding even Nick Patrick being added, so you got a heel referee. But when you start adding I guess you liked Conan being on there. I would have rather Conan go against them, but
Conan is red and black.
Yeah. And then when they started doing the Wolfpack, that by that time
the Wolfpack was great. That was a great thing, man.
I like their music. That song was hitting. I like the music.
The team, you got about Luger, Sting, Nash, Conan, Macho Man. That was a good team.
That's just offshoot from the original, though. I'm saying like the original NWO was that thing, man.
The furthest they should have gone was $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He should be like their man, like their JJ Dillon.
He was the finance. He was the money.
Right.
I kind of disagree with that because then who you got in the NWO, the mid card?
You don't need
a mid card.
You don't need a mid card.
Yeah, you don't need a mid card.
NWO was a phenomenon, man. It had to be through all scales of the industry, bro. It had to be.
No, man, no. You had Hogan dominating the championship, and you had Hall and Nash being your tag champs.
So who would you put the mid card title on there? Who you gonna put the United States?
You don't need it.
Wow.
You don't need it. You don't need it. It's a reason why Solo never won a title when the Usos had the tag championship.
So you wasn't rocking with Kurt Hennig being U.S. champion in the NWO?
Didn't need it. Kurt should have been having good matches with Eddie Guerrero just outside of the NWO. There should have been a world existing outside of that.
But to MD's point though, there is a moment where you should have like NWO members should be controlling the title scene at one point, and then it's that pursuit to bring them down, and then occasionally having somebody go down, and then having the crowd go crazy because one of them lost. So they should at one point, like the Four Horsemen, they were TV champion, U.S. champion, tag team champions, and world champion. Like all the titles were in the Horseman stable. The NWO should have had that, and then at certain points, the crack should show every now and then, and then that'll bring in some really big, spontaneous, exciting moments.
Hey, one of the most memorable moments for me was I think it was Sold Out when Kevin Nash powerbombed the Giant and like broke his neck or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was a good moment there. That was
Yeah.
a great moment.
Oh, when he powerbombed the Giant?
Yeah.
Hell, the Giant could have been a good foil for them, but they made him join them. Like, think about that super team. You got Goldberg. The Giant was out of there anyway because he said he was only making like 150, which is crazy. He was their champion at the time, and he was only making 150,000 when you had regular Joe NWO guy making 3 and 4 and 5 times more than him.
Because they came from WWF.
Standard WCW contract at that time was like $250,000 minimum.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I'm shocked though. I thought Venkat was gonna be like, yeah, Sting could have pulled off anything. Yeah, Sting could have done it. I'm very intrigued by the Bret Hart thing though. But it wasn't heel Bret Hart yet though. So we didn't know, like, he didn't do the double turn with Austin yet. So you wouldn't have known that like he had all that in him.
But Bret Hart has been a heel most of his career.
Yeah, but he wasn't that type of heel. He was a heel in the tag title. I'm saying, he wasn't that heel. Did you see you saw the double turn with him in Austin, and you saw where Bret Hart was like, I'm only gonna screw American fans. I'm only performing for the Canadian fans or stuff. He became a real villain when he would come out and cut promos and be like, this is bullshit. Everybody screws me and this and that. Bro, that Bret Hart was man.
At that point, he's not a regular villain. He's a villain that has some validity to his plight. He has an actual thing that he believes in, and other people see his viewpoint as him being the hero and everybody else being the villain. Depending on where you come from, you're on a different side.
Because to me, everything he said in his promos made sense, and he wasn't lying about stuff.
Yeah, he didn't say nothing wrong. It's just that
being screwed. I remember when I think he had the match against the Undertaker, and Stone Cold was in the back.
Yeah.
well, Bret Hart also said Canada is a place where we take care of sick.
Bro, that
where people have health care. So he said nothing wrong.
That's when Sid came out, and Sid. That's when Sid was like, "Shut up!" That's when he was cussing. He was like, "All you do is come out here and you whine and complain." And yeah, that man, Bret.
No shit.
I roast Bret Hart a lot, but man, that 97, 90 to 98 Bret Hart was man.
But then later, Sid broke his leg, and he needed health care, so he needed to go to Canada to get that taken care of.
Hey, question, because y'all older, I have a question. Was Sid bigger in WCW before, or was he bigger in the WWF when he came?
Ooh, that's a good
WCW.
One. I want to hear where Venkat got.
WCW. That's Sid Justice crap, and then that other Sid, whatever the hell he was, Psycho Sid. That's nothing. That's not Sid Vicious. When you think of Sid Vicious, you think of him in WCW and what he was doing there.
What was he doing besides stabbing people and trying to break Brian Pillman's neck?
Yeah, he was destroying jobbers every Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, and he was intense. His intensity, his look, his no nonsense attitude. That's what you know Sid Vicious for.
Yeah, Mike, that Sid Vicious off the top rope thing. That was, man. That John Laurinaitis should have never had a wrestling job ever again after that. Like that's. But the part that kills me is that he's laying there in the ring with a broken leg, and Animal still comes to the ring and hits him. Like that's the most confusing part. You see this guy's leg. Even Scott Steiner, when he saw his leg, he was like, "Oh." You see this guy's leg turn the other way, Animal comes out and attacks him.
I didn't even know Animal came out in the. I didn't remember that.
Because Animal, the whole concept was they had a mystery man. It was like a triple threat, and then they had a mystery man. The fourth man came out in like a straight jacket thing, and when they pulled the mask off, it was Animal. And Animal hit him. Like Animal comes to the ring and hits him.
Wow.
Like you got to watch it on the network. I forget what show it was, but they start playing this crazy music. So it's got to be that WWE didn't get the rights, because I can't believe that would be any music or anything. They start playing this ridiculous music. Ric Flair brings Animal to the ring because it was a whole conspiracy with Ric Flair, because Sid Vicious was he was the face in this match, and Animal comes down, sees this guy's leg turned the other way, and he still starts kicking his ass. Like I was like, man, this is the dumbest. Like, bro, that's the dumbest thing I ever seen. I forget which show it was. I got to look it up, but you had to go back and watch that.
Could you believe what Sid Vicious probably was thinking as you got your leg all messed up, and now you're taking these hits?
So here's a question that I just thought about. So Sting was the perfect foil for the NWO, because we agree. Sting, I know you might bring up DDP. DDP had his moments. DDP was hot. DDP was on fire. I'm not taking anything from DDP. DDP wasn't the hero against the NWO. It was Sting, and then later Goldberg. So Sting, the storyline was perfect until they ruined it at Starrcade, but the storyline was tremendous. They did everything right until the finish, and the match was terrible, but it's a Hulk Hogan match.
The match wasn't terrible at all.
That match was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
This is why we go so long. He just, I got 3 I'm supposed to get through. I'm not getting there. There's no way I'm doing the other 2. Well, I'll do the other one because the other one's not going to be as long, because I don't think most of you, with the exception of MD, would probably even know who the other guy is that I'm gonna bring up. What if roles were reversed and Stone Cold was the guy that was going after the NWO?
Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. That would have been like the greatest run of any run ever.
So do you think better than the Sting? Because
hell yeah, better than Sting, of course.
Listen, that Sting thing set them. I bet that was their highest grossing pay-per-view ever.
Yeah.
That Sting thing was so perfect until they did the stupid fast count, not a fast count thing. But if Stone Cold was the one in that position.
No, but you gotta make, because Stone Cold wasn't Stone Cold yet. Because that's 97.
Well, no, because this happened in 98, right?
No, you're talking about Starrcade 97, right?
Oh, that was 97. Okay, because 98 was something different.
Right. So Stone Cold doesn't kick off until 98 WrestleMania. And then, that's when, and then shortly after, his career is pretty much derailed with the injuries. But you don't have that same, because like him and McMahon were going at it in 99. They had the St. Valentine Day Massacre thing, whatever. So they had a hot series of matches right there. But if it's the NWO versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, NFL couldn't compete, NBA couldn't compete. There's nothing on the planet that every eyeball would be on that.
In my opinion, the Sting thing would have been better because it was a different dynamic. Like, as for me as a wrestling fan, I never seen nothing like that to that point. I didn't even know what the Crow was. I didn't even know who he was trying to emulate.
He didn't talk for 18 months.
Yeah, I just seen Sting coming out the Raptors, and I was like, damn, like, what is this? And to me, as a kid at the time, that really captivated me more than
imagine watching an episode of Nitro and the NWO doing the same thing they do every week. They're beating up the Horsemen, they're spray painting Flair's hair, and then out of nowhere, you just hear Stone Cold's music and then you see this guy coming down the rap. You tell me that would not be a moment right then and there in the day. I'm talking about like 97, 90, 98, 99, whatever. In that time period, if that would have happened, that would have been the biggest thing ever.
Man, it just bothers me that these promoters couldn't, see this and had this type of foresight and be like, boy, you know what? let's draw back the curtain. Let's do a little cross promotion. We're competing with the NFL. They were legit competing and beating the NFL a lot of Mondays.
Yep.
And man, like, bro, wrestling. That's why we talked earlier. Y'all missed it, but we were talking about the wrestling boom, because now there's a semi wrestling boom now, but it'll never be what it was. But I'm just saying, man, like they had it back then, man. Sting, because the way the story led, man, where Sting, the way that even made him go into Crow Sting was because WCW didn't believe in him. Like, that's why I think the Stone Cold.
No, it was Scott Hall that told him to do that. It was Scott Hall who told him to do it.
That's why on Man Talk Monday, you have the timer, so nobody could talk over somebody because of stuff like this. Scott Hall came up with the Crow concept. But the storyline was WCW didn't believe in Sting. That was the storyline. And he went quiet. And that's when Scott Hall was like, hey, I watched this movie where this guy comes back and collects souls. It'd be real good if you paint your, because remember when he first did it, the face paint was ugly. It wasn't even like how it eventually evolved into. It was just like a white face paint with a quick black outline. Like, and I think Scott Hall said that Sting was like, I don't know what it is. Show me what it is. And Scott Hall painted them in the back real quick. And then progressively, as it went on, they got a better paint job. But the story was, here I am, your homegrown talent. I've never switched over and went to the other company. And when the going got tough, you guys didn't believe in me. And that's why, and Sting said it. He was like, y'all not going to be seeing much of the Stinger around here anymore. And then he left. And then then they would just start showing him just sitting up in the rafters. Bro, the man didn't say nothing for 18 months. That's what made it fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's great stuff. But I just think Stone Cold would have just been that would have been amazing.
Stone Cold is more like, Stone Cold is unhinged, man. With those chair shots, he throws those chair shots and hits himself most of the time. Like that, yeah, Stone Cold would have been crazy. All right, so I got three. I'm not gonna do the last one. I'll do the last one next week. The reason I'm not gonna do the last one is because is a touchy subject, and it'll go on a whole nother hour. And I can't do that. I'll save that for next week. So here's the last one, and then this is the last one I'm gonna do this week because we already had 2.5 hours, and my throat hurts. I've been running my damn mouth all week. All right, so let me take you back. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna give you the scenario. The year is 19. So the year is we're going to go back to October 14th, 1986.
Oh boy.
October 14th, 1986. The Rock and Wrestling thing was just kicking off. So the Hulk Hogan boom period was on fire. That's when they made the Hogan 86 belt. That people don't even really realize Hulk Hogan had his own belt in 1986. And nobody else ever had it. I mean, he had the belt for forever. But anyway, regardless. So the year is October 14, 1986. So here it is. I'm gonna read you a quote. I remember it all, he said. It was raining really, really, really hard. I was driving the posted speed limit. I was driving the posted speed limit, but it was too fast given the horrible weather conditions at the time. It didn't seem to me at the time, but the fact that I hydroplaned, if I was going 15 to 20 miles slower, it probably wouldn't have happened. He spent 5 months in the hospital after the wreck. During that time, he resolved to stay positive and refuse to wallow in self-pity. I tried to present a positive attitude, making the best of whatever I was able to gain back from the injury and show the people that I was not quitting the game of life, he said. I was going to find my path and never give up. Through the grace of God, I was able to persevere and help to motivate others. So here's the question. 1986 was the beginning of the Rock and Wrestling period. That was a boom. That was one of those boom periods in wrestling, where they became real mainstream. That's when they got Cyndi Lauper and they did the whole MTV deal. To counteract that, Dusty Rhodes and the NWA brass came up with an idea that they were going to create a superstar that was going to go against Hulk Hogan. So my question is, what I just read you was the words of Magnum TA talking about his car accident. Magnum TA was supposed to beat Ric Flair to become the NWA champion, to go against Hulk Hogan, like to be the NWA's version of Hulk Hogan. That is what it was supposed to happen. So my question is, what would professional wrestling look like if Magnum TA would have became the NWA champion? Oh shit, I didn't even know Venkat wasn't on there. Please tell me you heard all that.
Yeah, I heard it.
Hey, let me go first because I wasn't around for Magnum TA. I just recently watched a documentary about him, so I'm curious to see what y'all gonna say, because I always wondered the same thing because I wasn't around, to see that. So I want to hear what y'all got to say about that.
You there, MD?
Yeah, I'm here. Again, that's past my timeline too. I was born in '85.
So you didn't know about Magnum TA?
I mean, I did, from history. Yeah.
All right, so me and Venkat gonna have to take.
Yeah, that's
this one.
That's y'all. Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead, Bones. Go ahead, Bones.
Bones.
Yeah, I was saying that's before my time. So I'm curious because I recently watched a documentary about him, and I want to hear what y'all gonna say because that's before I was born in '91. So.
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, I mean, I knew about Magnum TA. I knew about him, but
I always heard that he was the next big thing, and he was supposed to do this and do that. I always heard that growing up. But I wasn't there to see it. So I want to hear what y'all gonna say.
They groomed him. Dusty Rhodes was grooming him to be the NWA's answer to Hulk Hogan, because that's when Vince start just going in and taking over everything. And that rock and wrestling thing was huge for them because it got them the MTV deal, and they were becoming bigger and bigger. So Dusty Rhodes and the NWA brass was like, hey, we got this babyface that's on fire. Let's have him beat Ric Flair. Ric Flair was all on board. Ric Flair was like, well, let's do it. Magnum TA got in a car accident. So instead I think it was at that Starrcade, instead of it being Magnum, Nikita Koloff was the one who took his place.
Right.
They turned Nikita Koloff babyface, and he had the match. And see, Chris is saying the injury to Magnum killed the NWA. Like, people don't know how big that was. They were banking everything on Magnum because he had the look. He had the blonde hair. He looked way better than Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is this big ball hot dog skin guy. Magnum TA was this muscular baby face that could cut a decent enough promo. And he had Dusty Rhodes backing, and they were going to put the big gold belt on. No, they didn't have a big gold at the time. They were going to put the NWA, which I think is still the best belt in the world, the NWA belt on him. But he got in a car accident, and it made them pivot everything. So you got it, Venkat. What would have happened?
I think what would have happened is the Ric Flair that we know today, his trajectory wouldn't have been the same. So if you look at '86, he beats Nikita Koloff. '87 Starrcade, he beats Ronnie Garvin to win back the title for the 5th time. He has those matches with Steamboat and whatnot. I don't think that, obviously, they wouldn't have gone to Flair so often for so many times. It would have been Magnum TA in that role. I think Magnum TA would have been a multi-champion. Flair would have probably feuded with him, but Flair wouldn't be in the top contender spot as frequently. And I think Flair would have probably stepped down and been more of a U.S. title person, kind of like what Lex Luger was in the late 80s to 90s. I think that's what would have happened. What do you think? What's up?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I came up with this segment, because I wanted to hear what you was going to say. I don't disagree with you. Flair
benefited from that.
Think about what you're saying. You're saying that the multiple-time champion Ric Flair that we know wouldn't have been a thing had this car accident not happened.
Right. Because they didn't have enough guys that they could trust to run with that belt like that. So Magnum was the guy that they were going to be, and Magnum TA is from Magnum PI. That was the whole thing. Tom Selleck being, in shape, handsome hero. They based that character off of that character. So they were going to run with that all in. And when that happened, all those plans. So he probably would have been like one of those champions to hold the title for about 2 years straight minimum. And a lot of that time would have eliminated the time that Flair would have been the champ. Like those years, like you see Ronnie Garvin beat Flair and Flair beat him back because they didn't really have a guy to go with the title like that. So they just kept putting the title right back on the Flair all the time. But if you have Magnum TA, a lot of those Flair runs would have evaporated.
So you put Flair over. I mean, so you put Magnum over Sting and Luger then, because
Because Sting and Luger them will be like a little bit further back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And think about it, because Sting came into WCW and he was in first time I remember seeing Sting was Starrcade '87. And then
that's when they did that cross. That's when they had just purchased Mid-Atlantic?
UWF, Universal Wrestling Federation. Yeah. So he came in from UWF, and now he was in there with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, R.I.P. He came in with Rick Steiner, and that's how that started to go on with Sting, and then he worked his way up. So now you look at Clash of the Champions '88. Obviously, Ric Flair is trying to bring up Sting because, again, they didn't have the guys that were going to be the next ones up. So Flair was always trying to uplift the next guys, and he saw Sting as a potential guy to come up. And then 2 years later, Sting wins the world title. If Magnum TA was around, Sting probably wouldn't have been champion in 1990.
Wow.
It would have probably been a little bit further back.
Think about, and I don't disagree with a damn thing you're saying.
The whole thing would have changed. Everything would have changed.
So again, that's why I was sitting at work one day. I'm like, man, I'm gonna hit Venkat with this random ass question and see what he thinks. And because people don't know how big Magnum TA was, that's the thing. Because they think of it being like the whole regional thing. Think about it. Up until that point, NWA had never was like, we're going to build somebody specifically to counteract Hulk Hogan. They wasn't doing that. They were like, NWA was a heel territory where the heel was a champion. That's kind of how they did it. And every now and then you'll get a face as a champion. But what they're doing, they're like, listen, we got a guy over here that we think is much better. He's much more athletic, better looking. Like the women loved him. He was over like crazy. And he got the Dusty Rhodes rub on top of that. We got a guy that could go against Hulk Hogan, and just when the shit was gonna happen, the car accident. So what would have happened? What dent do you think? Because I mean, okay, you bringing up some fantastic points about what it would have did for the NWA side. What would it have done to put a dent in Vince's pocket? Because Vince wouldn't have been able to move into all those territories, not with a champion like that.
Right. So either he's going to try to lure the guy over.
Yeah.
Classic
making, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Or I don't know what other shady. I mean, he already did that shady tactic where, if you broadcast Starrcade, you're not getting WrestleMania. So it's in limited markets. You can't even see it on Thanksgiving Day. So I don't know. I don't know what drastic maneuver we would have made, but maybe it would have affected WWF so bad that they wouldn't have had that rise that they did, or they probably be there, but not as high as they had. Because if you look back, like WrestleMania 5, the NWA ran Clash of the Champions 1 the same day, and they got a high ass rating that night.
That Sting and Ric Flair match was one of the best matches I ever seen.
Right, Magnum TA
review that.
Right, Magnum TA wasn't just a look and an image and had fan backing. He was also very good in the ring. His match against Tully Blanchard, that I Quit match, that still is something.
Damn forehead with a stick.
Right, that's the greatest I Quit match ever. There's no I Quit match that's ever been that good. But and it still lasts the test of time. Even today, you watch it, you'll be like, my God, that's crazy. That was a great match. So yeah, Magnum TA. I mean, if you think about it, like there's multiple scenarios. Like for instance, you know, Dr. Dre when he was with the NWA, the actual rap group, not the wrestling. You know, they had the DOC, and everybody said how great the DOC would be. And you know, he had that great voice. He had all this potential coming in, and then he got in a car accident, and it messed up his voice. And now he was not able to be the DOC he was supposed to be. He still helped and benefited from helping to give the direction to Snoop Dogg for his first album, Doggy Style. He helped collaborate on that album and write and give suggestions and stuff like that. So his impact was still felt there. But he was supposed to be a bigger star. He was going to be the guy coming out of it. It ended up being he got in a car accident and he lost his voice. Ice Cube left the band. Ice Cube became real big. So every time you see like a setback happen, there's somebody else that benefits. So Magnum TA gets in a car accident, and then you see Ric Flair benefited from there being no competition for him. So he was able to go on and become world champion. Sting also took it from that point as well too. So there's always like something else happening when one thing fails.
And you know why he would have been so great too, because his finishing move. Hulk Hogan had the leg drop, he had the belly to belly suplex. Like an easy move you could hit on anybody out of nowhere. Like it was, bro. That man.
No, the Magnum TA's matches were more exciting than a Hulk Hogan match for sure.
That's one of the biggest. Man, that's one of the biggest what ifs or what could have been type things. And speaking of that NWA belt that I love so much, I want to just show this picture. It's kind of depressing, but y'all know who that is, right?
Oh yeah, Terry Funk.
Yeah, man. Look at Terry. Look how he looks, man.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah, man. That it's like we watch these guys. So all right, well,
and he's aging more than anybody else for all the hits he took over the years.
Yeah,
that'll really age you.
Terry Funk was an awesome one too. So I'm gonna save the last question only because I'm telling you, the last question is very polarizing and it's probably going to cause an argument. So I'm not going to do it. I'll do it next week.
The springing guy.
Yeah, I'll do it next week. Speaking of arguments, all right. So Venkat, me and you went 2 hours and 40 minutes with no argument, man. That's a record. So I want to hear from MD. I want to hear from MD and Bones because you know y'all not. I mean, y'all heard of Terry Magnum TA, but you know he as far as age wise. But I want to ask y'all because you weren't here at the beginning. I read a report from the Wrestling Observer. SmackDown did a point. So AEW Collision, the entirety of the show did a 0.21 in the demo, the 18-49 demo. SmackDown in the quarter hour, we're talking about the Roman Reigns segments, did a 0.9, which was tops in all of TV, not just cable, all of TV, period, network television and all. I only want to hear from MD and Bones because again, me and Venkat went 240 and didn't argue at all. What did y'all think about the tribal chiefs, the trial of the tribal chief?
Hold
on, and then MD, I got a question for you after that.
Okay, bet.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
In my opinion, it was a good segment. It was actually better than I thought it was. I thought they were just going to cut a promo. You know, it made Jey Uso look good, but basically my overall take, I got one big take. That night killed Cody Rhodes' momentum to get the belt. Because now people want to see Jey Uso beat Roman. We don't want to see Cody do it.
Didn't think of that as far as the momentum thing.
That's the only issue I got with it because, bro, like the storyline between Jey and Roman has been there for years, literally. You know.
So Bones, let me ask you a question. Every week on this show, when I always said that Sammy was the beneficiary of just getting real hot. He got real hot. But the story has always been about Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. That's always been the story. Let's go ahead. That I ain't want, but I just had to get that in. Yeah, Chris, I agree with you. My co-hosts don't, but I agree with you. That segment was I thought that was, and that segment went 45 minutes.
And see that the thing is, not the sidetrack from the bloodline, but the whole Cody Brock, we still don't really have a story in the explanation, and we're finna get 3 matches out of it, and it's kind of meaningless. You know what I'm saying? When Jay faced Roman in Detroit at SummerSlam, that pop is gonna be insane. It's gonna blow the roof off the building. But yeah, I just feel like it just killed Cody Rhodes momentum big time. That's
MD, first of all, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
What did you think about it? And then I got a follow-up question afterwards.
I the one take I got out, I was like, damn, this is a long ass segment. That was my first thing. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, this is really long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the progression of it for me, I like the clear cut understanding of what we getting in at SummerSlam is what defines it for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really got no issue with it, like with the whole thing with Roman getting down and then doing the low blow. I mean, that was cool. But the clear cut understanding of what we were getting for SummerSlam was the point. You know what I'm saying? And again, I still believe that Solo gonna be the major factor at the end of the day. I mean, they pretty much told you that.
Yeah, it's all pointing to Solo. But so my follow-up question is this. I think we didn't do a show last week. So the week before, when we did the Money in the Bank, review, you asked, you was like, well, what's the direction for SummerSlam? And I was like, it's probably gonna be Jey Uso. I was thinking Jimmy or Jay, but how the hell could I think Jimmy? It's probably gonna be Jey Uso. And you said, you was like, I don't know if I could buy that as a main event. So now, after everything that we've seen, and we still got like 6 weeks before SummerSlam, can you see? I don't think Jey Uso going to beat him. So let me point that out now. You can mark the tape and record it, Venkat. I don't think.
Tape machines are rolling.
I don't think Jey Uso is going to beat him. I think it's going to ultimately end up being Solo. But because the way Solo looked at that lay on the ground, that was all, like, sometimes you could say so much without saying a damn word. And the way he looked at that damn lay on the ground, I'm like, oh my God, that's where they're going. So MD, can you buy Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam in the main event?
I mean, based off of that segment, I mean, I can. I'ma still have I'ma still look at it sideways. I guess as it goes on, let's see what they're gonna do. I don't know how many times Roman gonna show up between now and SummerSlam for one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Probably twice at least.
Right. So I mean, I'm buying it, but I'm still like looking funny at it. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a main event. That is not a main event.
So
I'm basing that solely off of the segment from Friday.
So do you think Jay's not going to beat him? There's no way in the hell.
Oh boy, you keep doing those absolute statements. Tape machines are rolling.
And here's the thing, though, Trevor. See, I'm looking at other actors in the storyline, and not setting my sights on the match per se. Like, I'm still thinking, like, okay, what's going to happen in tune to the match? What's Solo's role going to be in the match? See, and that's what not makes it a main event for me. That I'm looking at all these other factors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could buy that, definitely.
So, that's why I say I'm still looking sideways at it.
But 3 years ago, damn, I'm really losing my voice now. 3 years ago, 3 years ago, they started the main event Jey Uso run. And we always criticized them for never paying anything off. Now they finally paying it off. Again, I'll say it 100 more times. I don't think he's going to win. He's not going to win. I'm still holding out hope that somehow Cody could get it. but it's pointing more to Solo. You know what? The one thing that would have made that segment would have put it over the top. I agree. It was too long. It went 45 minutes, which was ridiculous because you could tell in the other matches that they were rushing everything. But that aside, when Roman Reigns asked, he said, "Who got the authority to call a tribal court if not me?" If you would have heard that, if you smell what the Rock is, man, Madison Square Garden, that damn roof would have came off that place. Like that would have been like, that would have been, because that's telling you it's Roman and Rock at WrestleMania. But but the fact that they're paying off the main event Jey Uso storyline, and remember his brother's done. Like that's it. You're not gonna see his brother again until SummerSlam. They wrote him off. So it's literally going to be Jay having to contend with Roman and Solo and Paul up until SummerSlam. So the fact that they're paying off the main event Jey Uso run, like finally they're giving us a payoff, because they kind of just pushed it to the back burner.
You better off seeing John Cena wrestle Roman Reigns. And how we gonna criticize AEW for having CM Punk and Samoa Joe, and we got Jey Uso against Roman Reigns for the 100th time?
I didn't criticize the match.
I'm saying in general, not you. I'm saying in general.
Look at the screen. Look at this. Look at these body types.
Well,
these are the guys. These are the guys that's supposed to. These are the guys that's supposed to be selling the fight. Look at this. Look at this.
Man, listen, it was a good match. It had a good storyline in it, and it was a good match.
Go ahead.
I just wish CM Punk would have different tights on. Go ahead.
No, continue to shit on it. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, it's just like, who wants to see that match? This is classic WWE, man, where we see the same match over and over. Cena against Edge, Triple H against all these guys he always wrestling. Like it's always the same match all year long. I don't know. It's like they need another contender. They need somebody else to wrestle Roman Reigns. I don't look for that match. Sounds like Saturday night's main event at best.
I ain't gonna go that far, but I'm not gonna.
Vank got a damn hater, y'all. If y'all don't realize by now what he is.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, first of all, Saturday night's main event did have some big matches on it. I'm talking about the 80s and 90s Saturday night main event. I ain't talking about that recent incarnation that you guys maybe.
I don't know what the hell that was.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about that's what, when I say that, that's what I mean. Where it's a higher profile on TV match. I don't think that's a premium event or pay-per-view. I don't feel like that is worthy of that. And I think it just shows you're pulling for straws.
Yeah, I'm not booking Jey Uso and Roman Reigns at any of the big four pay-per-views. I'm not.
Exactly. It's not even like one of the offshoot events like Backlash or something.
Now, see, I ain't gonna go that far. Four. I said the big four. Nah, I ain't, I ain't gonna say all the rest of them.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that at least if you're gonna put them on a premium live, it should be like a Backlash or a Money in the Bank or something like that. But when you talk about the big four, the big seasonal four events, that definitely should not be one of them headliners. That's crazy.
Because at the big four, you expect the payoff, like a huge payoff.
Right.
At the big four, what huge payoff do you expect?
You're getting a 3-year payoff though.
Nobody cared about that. They were just doing that because they had nothing else better to do during COVID. That wasn't happening because of some great revelation. That was like, oh crap, we don't got nobody. They either got COVID or they're injured. Jay, get in there with Roman. That's what that was.
I forgot. This is the guy that says that Strikeforce is better than the Usos.
They are better than the Usos. I rather Rick Martel and Tito Santana are better wrestlers than Jay and Jimmy. That's what I'm saying. They are better wrestlers than those guys.
Let me see how genuine you are. Are they better than the Young Bucks?
Why you always bringing the Young Bucks into it?
Answer the question.
I ain't got nothing to say about that. We're not talking about AEW.
You see that? MD, I mean, like I hear what you're saying, but they're like legit giving you a 3. They never do this, like give you a payoff to an actual storyline. Yeah.
So you saying this the end of the bloodline then?
Huh?
You saying this the end of the bloodline? We know it's not.
Well, I think it's the end of the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns story. Because when Roman beat him 1, 2, 3 in the middle, that's it. Okay. That's it. After that, Bones, what is the Samoan? What is the Samoan Werewolf's contract status?
Werewolf talking about
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, he gonna be with them until 2025.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Vince couldn't buy him out of that contract.
Yeah, he got a faction with 2 other Samoan guys, and they against.
Jeez.
Hey,
you breaking up too, by the way, Bones. Damn, 2025.
That's the only outside bloodline member that is in wrestling.
Well, no, he's the only legit badass. Like if he came in, and just like smash Roman Reigns, you'll be like, okay, I get it.
Hey, what is the deal with people feeling like Solo is some second coming of of Stone Cold or something, like he can do something?
Nobody ever put him on no Stone Cold level.
I'm just saying that he can go in there and oh my God, if he's in there, some stuff is gonna happen. Like really? Isn't he like a bona fide rookie right now? He doesn't really have much of a history in actually in the ring, right?
Well, he had like a tour. Chris would know this. Chris, what was Solo's run in NXT? How many years? Was it like a 2-year run?
No, not even. I think it was just a year.
Oh, he only had a year.
I'm saying I don't think this guy has even really been around long enough. So how can he really make an impact on anything, especially from a title perspective?
And he did capture the North American Championship, but they ended up stripping him because he got promoted to the main roster.
Oh yeah, because he came in for that one-off and beat who was the champion?
I don't remember. I think it was a triple threat match he won, but they did. I think they did that because that was the weekend they was in Saudi Arabia for whatever pay-per-view they had, and they wanted the view of the Usos with both belts, and then Roman with both belts, and Solo with the belt. You know, they made it for good for that 1 week. They was in Saudi Arabia. Ha! Then they took it from him.
He beat Cameron Grimes.
What happened?
I thought it was a heel that he beat. Cameron Grimes. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I like Solo. I'm not gonna say because that was a time in NXT where I wasn't watching. I'm black and gold NXT. So again, I haven't. I'm not gonna lie and say I watch everything on NXT now. And as a matter of fact, Chris, you could tell me why was Judgment Day on there last night? What happened? I saw a clip. I saw a picture of Judgment Day standing over somebody. I didn't watch Monday Night Raw, so I don't know if they set something up on Raw. I don't know what happened.
The main event was Finn Balor and Dominic against I believe Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams.
Oh, I like Trick Williams.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. But next week they got Dominic fighting Wesley for the North American Championship.
Oh, that's going well. Wesley gonna carry Dom to a great match because Wesley is that dude.
Yeah.
Damn. So he's saying they feuding with Carmelo. So wait a minute. Wasn't Baron Corbin just feuding with Carmelo?
Yeah, but Carmelo beat him at one of the main events. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So what is Braun Breaker doing? Braun Breaker and Iliad gonna fight, right?
I think they fought yesterday. I didn't see that match. Chris will be able to tell you who won. But in the main event, I believe Damian Priest, he kind of cheesed, cashing in his Money in the Bank contract, which I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like that. Shouldn't be able to cash it in on no NXT title.
So I didn't like.
He did it? He did it?
No, he didn't. He teased it, but he didn't actually do it.
Well, you should be able to do it to any title you want, right?
Well, Charlotte did it, but
But think about this: if like think logically, if I'm a wrestler, why would I use my Money in the Bank for an NXT championship when I can get Roman Reigns Or I can get
Well,
some.
but that's the but think about what you just said though, Bones. So you're gonna cash in on a higher level star. Let's say you happen to win because they're so battered and bruised. Now you got other higher level stars that are above your rate, your work rate in that ring. You may end up easily losing it. You might have a DDP type reign where you lose it the same night or less than 24 hours. If you win it in NXT, maybe you're thinking, hey, at my level, I could get that title, which is a title I probably couldn't get for many, many years. I could go get that now and then work my way up. Just because you got the briefcase,
damn, Ilya beat Braun Breaker. Oh crap! I gotta go watch that when I get off. Wow. Yeah, Ilya Dragunov is the man. If y'all haven't, go watch him and Walter at NXT UK. That was the most violent match Gunther. That's the most violent match that you'll ever watch.
And the second one was good too. Not as good as the first one, but the second one was a banger too.
And the first one was so good because it was in an empty arena during COVID. So you could hear every single thud and punch. And Ilya Dragunov is a madman taking all them damn suplexes from Gunther. Holy crap. So is that it for Braun Breaker? Is he done?
Oh no, I think he's ready to come up. Already.
Yeah, he needs to come up. I would have had him come up and he can't do it. Yeah, hey, Roman Reigns is tied up right now.
Hey Trevor, me and Chris was talking recently, and we were saying that we feel like somebody need to take that belt off of Theory because he started out hot with the belt, but he's kind of cool lately. So maybe LA Knight, Ciampa, Gargano, or even Braun Breaker. What you think about that?
Wait, say that again.
I was saying me and Chris was talking recently about Austin Theory and how he been kind of cooling off lately.
Oh yeah, LA Knight needs to take that from him.
Yeah, but you got LA Knight, you got Ciampa, Gargano, or Braun Breaker.
Now Ciampa and Gargano, they're reuniting DIY. I was gonna say DUI. They're reuniting DIY, but no, LA Knight. If LA Knight didn't win Money in the Bank, LA Knight needs to be beating Theory for that US belt. And somebody asked the question, why wasn't LA Knight on SmackDown? He was. They just had to cut it because the Bloodline segment went too long.
Oh my God, are you serious?
He did come out. The segment went 45 minutes.
Wait, how they screwing this guy over big time? My God.
Well, maybe Kevin Nash was right, brother. The Creed brothers just lost a loser leave NXT match. So I'm pretty sure I'll see them on the main roster. The Creed brothers are good. I like them. Braun and Mello. Wait a minute. Mello just won the NXT title. What are you talking about? Wait, hold on. I got to go back to that. Hey, Chris, hit the link, man. I can't keep. Yeah, hold on, man. You need to give us our NXT rundown. Hold on, man. Because I've been needing to know what's going on in NXT since I don't really watch it. Only thing I want to know about on NXT is Cora Jade. So I didn't know what else was going on outside of that. Yeah, Chris, I put the link in the chat, man. I need an NXT update because I don't know what's going on.
Hey, by the way, I like those. I don't know what's going on. I like that Judgment Day T-shirt though. That Judgment Day T-shirt was nice. With the four look like the pop figure.
Bro, I like everything about Judgment Day.
Listen, WWE is so good, man. When Judgment Day come out and their little entrance, it gets me every time. I love it.
But
that's a nice shirt.
Yeah, but you see what the dumbasses are doing? They're trying to break them up.
Yeah. That's why I always say, man. WWE
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, WWE they don't like friends and they don't like people sticking together for long term. Like not everybody needs to break up. Toxic broke up.
They're doing the Hollywood Blondes all over again.
Yeah, WWE like to do merchandise dumps.
Yeah,
when a faction about to split up. So they coming up with all these T-shirts going. Let's sell it. Let's squeeze it. You know what I mean? Before we get rid of it. You know what I mean? That was a nice T-shirt with the symbols on the back. I was like, that's nice.
They're doing Dissension and Imperium too. Why?
Yeah, what's going on?
Why? That's what I'm saying. Hey, man, Marcel Bartel and Vinci they should be tag team champions right now. They should beat Sammy KO, and Gunther needs to eventually get into beating Seth Rollins. I mean, it's like it is what it is.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you somebody else who's hot. Alpha Academy is hot right now with
because they got
with
that
Maxine
girl.
Dupree.
They got that girl. What happened with her team though? The model guys.
Oh yeah, in the back, that's what happened to them.
They ain't get it with the OC.
Yeah, but yeah. Alpha. That's what I'm saying, man. WWE got some legit tag teams. They need to put them all on one brand because the Viking Raiders are badass. I mean, them jokers. I mean, they do a little too many knee slaps for me, but the thigh slaps. But man, they are. That's a badass team. And now that they've added Valhalla with them, it just makes it legitimizes the team more. They got some good tag teams. A week should never pass when you don't see the Street Profits. Like Montez Ford is too good to not be on TV for the past 3 or 4 weeks. It's like, come on, man, that's crazy. And Angelo Dawkins, he ain't no slouch. He been stepping his game up.
He stepped up big time. I've been seeing him since like way back years ago when he was in NXT, and he would always have a little run, and then they would push him to the side. And you want to see him for a couple months, he'll get a new gimmick, but he in his best form right now. I'm real proud of him.
And I like.
Go ahead, MD.
No, I was gonna say I like Alpha Academy, but the only thing I want Chad Gable to like, because he should be a mid-card star.
He should be beating Theory. Hell, you know what?
Well, how many people gonna beat Theory here?
Well, because Theory not getting over, man. You know, hell, I wouldn't mind seeing a Chad Gable versus Gunther feud. Like, give them a feud.
Trevor, you just said Theory's gonna be the world champion in a year.
Well, he still could be there. He needs to lose. He needs to lose.
That's not happening since Vince ain't there no more.
Yeah. Well, because you got to strike while the iron hot, man. You can't have LA Knight. LA Knight is on fire right now, and we don't know how long that's going to last. He could run with the U.S. title. He can't. And then why can't him and Theory feud for the next couple of months? Chris joined the panel. What's up, Chris? Oh, but real quick, one thing I did, Gunther versus Chad Gable feud would probably be the best thing on TV. Now tell me I'm wrong. Especially if Gable hits him with that chaos theory.
Yeah, Chad Gable will bump out his mind, man. He'll like the bump that Chad Gable will take with Gunther, man. I'm telling you, it'll look like a car crash.
Chad Gable raw as fuck.
Yeah. All right, you want to put some money in the pot? It didn't drop the F-bomb.
Oh yeah, my bad, man. What's good, y'all?
Is that hold on, let me turn your mic because your mic low.
I'll tighten up my language. My bad. I apologize about that. But yeah, Chad Gable raw.
So what's going on NXT, man?
So basically, Judgment Day showed up yesterday. Everybody was there. Crowd was going insane, yo. It wasn't even just Judgment Day chants. It was all mommy. You feel me? It was crazy. But they came out. Basically, you see how Carmelo Hayes then had a match with Finn Balor on Monday night. So I guess they're trying to justify him losing by having him coming down and feud with him now. So I guess I thought they're gonna have a full-on feud, but now it's kind of Ilya Dragunov won, so most likely that's the direction they're going with the Great American Bash, which is they're going on the road with that too. That's later on this month. I believe it's July 29th. That's their next premium event. But yeah, so the main event was Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Finn Balor, they won, you feel me? So I don't know what direction that's gonna go in, but clearly they got Wesley versus Dominic Mysterio next week. So they got a lot of stuff going on, man. Cora Jade, she wrestled this new chick named Kalani Jordy. She's pretty nice, man. She's probably her first or second match on NXT, but she's really athletic. She kind of reminds me of Sol Ruka, with the athleticism and stuff. So I don't know if you know about Sol Ruka, but she's really good too.
Nice.
So
yeah, I like her.
She had that dope ass move.
Yeah, man. Cora Jade, man, literally been watching her for over a year, man. It's man, she don't really make improvements that much on the ring, but she Gucci everywhere else, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Chris, Cora Jade is a look. That's it.
I agree. I agree, yo. Like she's got the mic skills, she's got the look, but in the ring, dog, it's lackluster. You know what I mean? But like, she's over with the crowd and stuff. Like since she's turned heel and stuff, so I don't know. We'll see what directions they go with her. I feel like most likely she'll be the next woman to win the title from Tiffany Stratton, most likely. In a sense, I feel like that'll be the direction that they'll be going.
Wait a minute.
Only
Wait a
matter
minute.
of
Wait a
time.
minute. How that's gonna work? Both of them hated. Like what they won't do.
They're
heel
both
versus
heels.
heel.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. Like we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, like I don't feel like Tiffany Stratton's gonna lose the belt anytime soon. But like I feel like when she does, like the only person that makes sense on roster right now would be for Cora Jade, just because she's super popular, yo, with the fans and shit. She's super over. So like I don't really know what to say, like as far as that goes, but like she don't really do it for me in the ring at all. Like she, like I said, lackluster. So Ilya Dragunov getting that title shot, that's gonna be an amazing match. You know what I mean? Him and Braun Breaker did their thing. Like I knew that was gonna be a good match. Like it would have been a decent night to go to NXT last night because they had that. They had Tiffany Stratton versus defending her title against Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile is like a little pit bull. She's
Yeah, I like
good,
Ivy
you know
Nile.
what I mean? What else did they have? They had like I feel like Buddy from Tony D'Angelo's clique wrestling for like they're doing something over there, dog, where they're trying to get him out of jail or something like that, or something with the Gallus brothers, but they're trying to go and like get him out of jail, like whoever like wins type stipulation type thing.
Yeah.
So
Also, I love the Gallus brothers a lot too.
Yeah, Gallus. See, NXT and that NXT UK roster was the business. I don't know what they're doing with Tyler Bate, man. They ruining Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate, they basically put him with Chase U University.
Oh,
That's
get outta
basically where
here.
basically where he's been at. So
Buried.
they've been pulling him out of that direction and trying to go and put him with Wes Lee, and they've been feuding and stuff where they've had a match already and stuff. That was pretty it was all right. And then obviously they're gonna go and have Mustafa Ali versus Wes Lee. So obviously, like it's already set in stone that Dominic's most likely gonna lose since he's already got his next title match already set up. So I mean, like just like looking in, you know, between the lines there, I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, that's most likely what's gonna happen with that.
Hold on, man. You got Tyler Bate with Chase U. Tyler Bate, the guy that had won the match of the year with Walter a couple of years ago. Tyler Bate, the inaugural NXT UK champ. No, yeah, him or Pete Dunne, one of them. But come on, man.
Yeah, he was the inaugural, and then Pete Dunne beat him for it.
He need to go to AEW. Now that's the guy that need to be in AEW.
Nah, he can WWE.
No, man. Tyler Bate.
Why, Trevor?
Because Tyler Bate is awesome. AEW would see a guy. Well, everybody knows Tyler Bate is awesome if you watch NXT, but everybody would see a guy like that and they'd immediately push him on AEW because, you know, AEW push all WWE stars. So he'd go over there and he'd get pushed immediately. That guy, give me a Tyler Bate, anybody. Oh, a Tyler Bate Andrade, a Tyler Bate, Aleister Black, a Tyler Bate Miro. Give me, well, you notice I'm saying all Tyler Bate versus WWE guys,
which is crazy. It's crazy.
Well, that just show you, hey, I'm being nice to them this week.
Hey, I forgot to ask both.
You want a Tyler Bate versus Jungle Boy? So Chris, how did that? Well, I'm gonna go watch it, but how did that Braun Breaker Ilya Dragunov? Because that's crazy. Braun Breaker don't be taking no losses.
He's actually lost his last two matches against Seth Rollins and Ilya Dragunov. Like, dude, he's pretty much primed. He's going to the main roster. It's just a matter of time. Like, him and the Creed brothers are definitely going up. Like, that's set in stone. Like, they're just trying to go and get the pieces together, I guess, like story wise and stuff to go and get them going up there and stuff. But I guess like I want to say maybe after SummerSlam will probably be when they're trying to do it. Maybe during SummerSlam, like because you know SummerSlam's always gonna have some sort of debut. So like, who's coming back this year? You know what I mean? Like,
I got an idea. After SummerSlam, have Paul Heyman bring him out to whoop up on Roman Reigns. Like that would be, have him be a Paul Heyman guy. Put him with Paul Heyman. Because even though
that makes sense.
Even though he's a heel, his heel run, his promos are a lot better. As a babyface, his promos were garbage, but put him with Paul Heyman. He would do fantastic with Paul Heyman.
Hey, I feel like his heel work works seamlessly amongst the crowd, yo. Like with him getting like genuine boos, it's just because like we don't really like him. You feel me, dog? Like he fucking, I mean, he's terrible, man. Like it's like, ugh. Like I don't know. It's just something that was just way too forced.
You think they forced him?
Yeah,
absolutely.
When he was a face, he was definitely being forced. And
like when they switched,
I went to an NXT show with Chris. And the crowd, they wasn't feeling him as a face. There was plenty of other people getting way more pops than him. And that was when he was the reigning defending champion.
So
yeah, like it. It's been like that for a while with him, man. Like nothing against him, but like since they switched the brand to 2.0, like that was basically their poster child. Like you know, like this is who they put out there as you know, this is our guy. You know, hate him or love him. You know, this is what you're gonna get. And that's what it always felt like with Braun Breaker. Like nothing to take away from like his dad, his uncle. Like that's cool, but if that was the case, they should have made him a Steiner and not Braun Breaker. You know,
that's what I was
about
to say. They should have called him Ron Rex Steiner, like that's his real name.
And see, that's another thing too. Me personally, I'm a huge NXT Black and Gold person, and he is the poster boy for 2.0. Because remember, he came in and just wrecked Tommaso Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa. That's why the fans don't like him.
So exactly. So that's why for me, I'm always have like a little personal, you know, heat against him. You know, but I do respect him, and I think he's a good wrestler. But I'm always have some, you know, personal heat against him.
Yeah, Trevor. He a product of Bruce Pritchard at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon product. So what do you think Triple H is going to do? Is he going to come up as a heel then? Or because now that Vince is back, is Vince going to be like, he's a baby face?
He will be much better. They put him as a heel.
Well, he probably he probably going to wreck Seth Rollins or somebody. They ain't going to have him near Roman.
Nah.
All right, well, I guess, yeah. See, that's why I told you I'd be needing you, man. I don't know what happened when I set this show. I set it for Thursday, and it wasn't until I was getting ready to come on. I'm like, damn, why is it not giving me the countdown? So I had to go in there and hurry up and change it. But yeah, that's why I've been needing you on for this NXT report, because I like the way you just described NXT. I might have to watch that over Raw because I didn't watch Raw this week. But I'm damn sure gonna go check out this NXT show. But yeah, Rhea Ripley always been over with the NXT crowd because it's Rhea. I mean, Rhea is Rhea.
Yeah, she was getting that Seth Rollins pop. Like literally, like I seen the crowd reaction from like both like episodes, like from TV, and then like people that sent me videos of like the actual crowd reaction. And like Seth Rollins was crazy. But when I say they were going bananas, just chanting "mommy, yo," like everybody, yo, like in unison, it was insane, yo.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley is badass, man. I don't know. I hate the way they're doing her title run, man. She should have already beat Nikki Cross. She should have already had a big beefy son of a bitch match with Piper Niven.
The only thing that's gonna save this run right now is a big. A match with her and Raquel, you know what I mean? Like they're best friends,
and that's what that's what they're building towards. Man.
We can't take Raquel serious. She smiled too much, man. Come on,
she smiled too much.
All right, Raquel Rodriguez is horrible. Let's just admit it, yo. That character, it's like she got injected with the same stuff that the Joker was, man. She can't stop smiling, and it's aggravating to look at. Plus, you know, coming from a Hispanic person, man, she comes off way too much as Dora the Explorer trying to teach everybody Spanish. Like chill, yo. Bro, when she was Raquel Gonzalez,
Yes.
she was, you know, kick butt. You know what I mean? Like, not like how she is right now. It's terrible, man. Like, it I don't know. It's terrible to watch, man.
You remember
'Cause
that?
she's
Remember
so
that
much
War
better,
Games?
dog.
You remember that War Games where she wrecked shop and pinned Io Shirai? Come on,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
The same one where Io Shirai jumped off the top of the cage inside the can.
Yeah, Io Shirai crazy as hell.
There should be no pinning in War Games.
Hey, Venkat, you was gonna ask me a question?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. Oh God, what was it? Is with Rampage, do they have their own exclusive wrestlers as well? Like they divided the roster between 3 shows, or
No.
do some people reoccurring wrestlers show up on different shows?
No, for the most part, you might get like certain wrestlers that wrestle on Rampage often, but it's not exclusive to Rampage.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that because Collision CM Punk is exclusive to that, though, right?
Yeah, but not officially. But yeah, he's only been on Collision because they're trying to keep him away from the Elite storyline wise. But it was rumors that they was going to split the roster, but they haven't done it, thankfully. Because I wouldn't have wanted them to split the roster to satisfy CM Punk. You feel me?
Yeah.
So with AEW Dark being gone, what are they doing with development talent? What's up with that?
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they did get rid of Dark?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once they got rid of Dark and Elevation once they were doing Collision because it was just like they got a lot of programming and plus nobody like come on, let's just be real, man. We're all wrestling fans. Who really sits like out of the part of their day to go watch Elevation or like Dark
Well,
on
at
YouTube?
one point, that's all I was watching for AEW, wasn't it?
What did it even come on? Like, where could you find it?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. So I would just sit there, have it just run and watch it.
Hey, Venkat, you can watch MLW on YouTube also, and it's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
But wait a minute, because I used to watch MLW religiously. I used to watch the NWA Power program also when they had that old guy Tim Powers trying to get back his belt from Nick Aldis, which Nick Aldis is a tremendous character. I don't know why he's not in WWE yet, but I'll digress with that. But
because he's in Impact.
Oh, he's back in Impact?
Yep, he's in Impact.
Is he
he's
Magnus
in the title
again?
picture. I'm not sure. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with him like back in the day or when he was there or whatever, but he's there. He's in the title picture. He's actually like, I guess they got him teaming up with like Leo Rush, who just showed up in Impact. So that's kind of like weird and kind of cool because I like Leo Rush, but I don't really know much about Nick Aldis other than that's like Mr. Mickey James. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, the rumor is WWE wouldn't take him because of his age. They wasn't interested.
Okay, speaking of age, let me show you a picture. Since we're talking about WWE not taking people for their age,
wow.
let's look at the age of their current top stars. So you got LA Knight is 40, Damian Priest is 40, Finn Balor's 41. Who is that?
That looked like rest of it. Ryback. That looked like Ryback.
I don't know what the hell he's doing on here, but he's 41. Who is this? That's not the Miz.
Yes,
that is the Miz. Yeah, the Miz is 40. Wow, the Miz is 42. Oh no. Wade Barrett is 42.
He's useless.
Get out of here, man.
Wade Barrett is trash.
Dolph Ziggler is 42.
Who's 43 in that picture? Because there's like 3 people or 4.
It's wrong. It can't be so.
So you got that's Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins not in his 40s. I know that. They're probably saying Curtis Axel because Curtis Axel is probably in his 40s. Randy Orton's 43, still waiting for him to come back if he is. Samoa Joe is 44. Sheamus is 45. Brock Lesnar is 45. Bobby Lashley's 46. AJ Styles is 46. And who is that? Shelton Benjamin is 47. Wow.
But you notice there's no ageism for Brock Lesnar, though, right? There's none whatsoever. There's no ageism there.
For Brock Lesnar? What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like you say, like people are not going to be in there because of their age. But Brock Lesnar doesn't get that, I guess.
But Brock Lesnar goes in the ring and proves it every time. What are you talking about?
They're saying it's got 45 years old.
Because I criticized the 64-year-old man.
64. 64. I thought you were talking about somebody who was like 38 or something like that.
64. Who did I criticize?
We're not talking about Sting. We're not talking about Sting.
I thought we were talking about Sting, man. He's a fossil, man. He shouldn't be doing all that stuff, man. Come on, man. Let's preserve this, man.
When you hear me talk about somebody's age, I'm saying that they're taking too long to push them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
LA Knight is 40. LA Knight been in the business. LA Knight got a lot of miles on him. That's what I'm saying. You got to strike while the iron is hot. Hell, Cody is almost 40.
Yeah.
Shit, they need to put, hey, at some point, Cody gonna have to get that belt, man. I mean,
he doesn't have to get anything. He was in AEW. He didn't win that world title. He don't have to. That's the beauty of it.
What does being the AEW champion really mean?
It means a lot.
To who? Who is their champion defending against coming up?
MJF probably gonna fight Adam Cole for the belt.
I like Adam Cole, so I'm not going to criticize Adam Cole. I like Adam Cole.
Oh, look, that is so shady what you're doing, Trevor.
I like
Trevor, could Adam Cole main event SummerSlam?
Yep.
I think a lot of people would rather see Adam Cole than this Jey Uso.
MD, to answer your question, to casual fan, I keep mixing them up. To hardcore fans, absolutely. But to WWE's audience, hell no. No way in hell.
Just asking.
No way in hell. Because Adam Cole, again, come on, man. You see, y'all trying to make me be the villain here. WWE casual fans, it's aesthetics, man. They look at aesthetics. And when you got an Adam Cole talking about going up, Adam Cole is 5'8", talking about standing next to 6'4" Roman Reigns, it just doesn't look good. It would be a great match because Adam Cole is that dude, but it don't look good aesthetically. It don't.
Aesthetically, what about Otis?
I mean, it just don't. I mean, what do you want me to do? I don't make the rules. I don't. So, all right. So we done went over the 3-hour mark. Venkat done coerced me in it again. He secretly devised a plan. This show was not supposed to be this long today. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So I'm about to wrap up. Next week, I will be leading off with the question that I did not answer. The reason I did not ask. The reason I didn't ask it is because it's a very, very touchy subject. And I know Venkat's gonna go all on his diatribe about it. So he's gonna have ample time. He probably, I'm telling you, honestly, I bet you he doesn't go. I bet you for this question, he doesn't go any less than 45 minutes.
I'm telling
you. I didn't think we were going to go so long with the news today. I didn't realize I had so many news items, but whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna lead off with that question next week, just because of how touchy it is, and I know how he's gonna respond to it. So, all right, fellas.
Hey, who's that? Who's that with the? Is that LA Knight on there?
No,
that's Chris.
Who's that? Damian Priest.
That don't even look like him.
Senor in the bank.
That doesn't look like him from. Oh gosh. All right.
Yeah, Damian Priest is that dude too, though, man. Damian Priest, who did he have? Man, he had a banging ass feud in NXT. I'm trying to remember. Did him and Velveteen Dream ever go at it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that could have been it then. Because Velveteen Dream, man, you talk about a waste of a man. Good
wasted talent.
Man, you talk about a waste, man. Listen, Velveteen Dream could have transcended wrestling. Yeah, I said it. And y'all know how I feel about that community, but he could have transcended wrestling with that character and his work in the ring. Even though to me, a lot of times he seemed like Dominic, like he's thinking of his next move. But he would, man, Velveteen Dream was, man, that match with him and Aleister Black, that match with him and Ricochet, man, come on. Oh, speaking of Ricochet, Oh, that flip over the top rope. I did see that.
Ridiculous.
Logan Paul. Him and Logan Paul gonna have a banger come SummerSlam. That's gonna be low-key match of the night.
They should have been had this match.
Well, they having it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul's gonna win.
And Dominic is never thinking of the next thing. He don't think.
Wait, say that again?
Dominic doesn't think of his next move because he doesn't think.
Oh, yeah, Dominic. But when you watch him, you always watching him like he's like and 1 and 2 and 3. Like that's how he's not fluid. He's not. And even my wife pointed it out, and she was just looking at him. She's like, "How come he looks like he's counting all his steps?" And I didn't notice it. I'm a funny story before I close down. As long as I've been watching wrestling, I didn't realize the thigh slaps. You know who pointed out the thigh slaps to me? Was my wife. We were watching NXT. Ironically, we were watching the Adam Cole match. Adam Cole was wrestling probably Johnny Gargano. And she said, "How come he keeps slapping his thigh?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And it's like, you know, sometimes somebody will say something and it'll trigger something in your head and it makes you start looking at things a different way. When she said that, I couldn't unsee it. So now I can't unsee. So when the Usos, every time they going for a super kick, I always be like, I always hit my thigh. I'm always, there you go. You can hear it. It's
so
like,
the Usos do Shawn Michaels finisher. The Usos do the Dudley Boys finisher. Anything that the Usos originated or have on their own, because they're this great tag team, you know.
But that's see what I'm saying, man.
I'm just saying. You say these guys are so awesome.
That's the most, man.
I'm just saying. What do they do? What is their thing?
Well, less is more, Van Cat. Less is more, man. They ain't got to do all the stuff. Hey, this ain't 2015 no more, man. They ain't gotta have these matches with New Day and they ain't gotta do it no more. You know what I'm saying?
Or it's making them big bucks now. They don't have to put so much stress on the body.
Wow.
So MD, you know, I see you had a lot of words for me earlier over on the think tank. So your day will come. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, close the show out, Trevor. You see, I ain't saying nothing about none of
it. You had it's like, I swear it's like they put the bat signal out, and I'm like, oh, Trevor hit the panel. There go MD pop up. MD like, what is he saying? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, and I think Yanga good for this. Yanga didn't listen to a damn thing I said. Like, Yanga already had in his mind what he wanted to say, and he just was like, all right, well, Trevor trying to say this. That's not what I was trying to say. But both of y'all will have y'all day. Next time Yanga go live, because I'm not doing nothing for the rest of the week.
Oh no, see, my phone was breaking up, and literally the only thing I heard you say was what culture does Black Americans? That's all I heard. I ain't hear nothing else.
No, see, because when you put the who was it? You put the James Brown comment in there. So what I was saying to that is you pull up a modern reference, but what me and Yanga was talking. So Venkat, did you hear this? Apparently Busta Rhymes said something that got Yanga all pissed off.
What did Busta Rhymes say?
He had to go and do a stream of it. I got to go find the video. Apparently he was saying like black people. I got to hear it in context because I don't know.
Are you talking about when Busta Rhymes did that acceptance for the award and he made this big speech?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't
I seen that speech.
No, this was in the back. This was in the back. It wasn't on the
Okay.
I gotta go. Yeah. I gotta go pull it up, man. I gotta go check it out because Yanga made a whole big deal about it. And then it brought up. So me and MD always got one beef. It's always the one beef. It's always the immigrants versus Black Americans because for some reason,
yep,
they think that immigrants somehow got a vendetta against Black people. And I'm here to
you ain't never heard me say nothing like that.
Because your whole talking point to me is that we can never understand what you say, your exact words, we can never understand your plight. Correct?
Okay. More or less, yeah.
And my contention is we're not trying to impose ourselves into your plight. We're coming over here to try to make a better living for ourselves and our families, and B, just trying to fit in to our small piece of the pie in this big old melting pot. So, and my thing to Yanga was, how come you got so much pressure for the immigrants, the black immigrants, but you're not going after the people that control the music industry? Because Venkat, basically, he was saying black Americans should boycott Busta Rhymes. So I got to hear what Busta Rhymes said, because I bet you it's not that bad.
I don't know. Now you got me wondering what that could be.
Because something was going on with his computer. He couldn't pull it up, but I gotta go see it. I want to see.
What it's all over online. Like everybody talking about it. You could go pull it. Like it's literally like a 20-minute clip. Literally, you know what I'm saying?
20 minutes.
Like I said,
20 minutes.
What that means?
Not 20 minutes. I'm sorry. Not 20 seconds. 20 seconds. I'm sorry. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Like what the hell? He gave a presidential acceptance speech?
No. Yeah, he was backstage. I think it was the BET Award.
Yeah.
And, somebody was asking him a question about something, and he was talking about culture, and but like I said, this wrestling with reality. I'm not getting into it. I'm not doing it, bro.
But I'm gonna say that the last thing is, because the one thing Yanga did that I don't like, and is I love Yanga, man. But because I asked him a question earlier. I said, yeah, and I wasn't asking him like to be a dick about it. I was asking him, I'm like, Yanga, what? I'm like, define black culture to me. Like, tell me what black culture is. And instead of he was like, oh man, that's so broad. Define your culture. I'm like, I'm not on trial here. How come I asked you a question and now all of a sudden you want to spin it back on me? Yeah, MD, yeah. And MD,
thanks for having me, man. You'll see me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'll wait.
You did a video yesterday too. I think it was yesterday. I think that's when I saw it. I got to watch it. You were saying something about the gender wars. So, and I feel like I didn't listen to it yet, so I got to see what you're saying. You care to just give me a quick synopsis of what that was about?
Well, what I was, that was in reference to the whole Fresh and Fit debacle with Nick Fuentes. That's what sparked it. I don't know if you saw that little clip, and I don't watch Fresh and Fit. Don't get it twisted.
What is Fresh and Fit?
It's a grift. Two guys, they initially started in the whole gender war paradigm, and now they done broke away and trying to be conservative. It's a grift, bro. So apparently,
my bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Trevor. I don't know if you remember, but we made reference to it in the man cave. It's these two guys. They sit there, like, kind of like at a round table, and they have, I believe they have women on there. I believe sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so usually it'll be two guys, and they'll have a group of maybe like 6 to 8 women, and they'll talk about different.
Yeah, they'll argue over men and women and what they're supposed to be doing. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean?
So basically,
that's
just
me.
On Mondays then.
But so they had the guy Nick Fuentes on the show the other day, and he's a quote unquote white supremacist. You know what I mean? And one of the guys had on a Klan hat. Like I said, I don't know who these people are. I know one of them are Haitian, and the other guy, hell, he looked East African to me. I don't know what the hell he is. But he had on like a Klan hat, and all the women around him was egging the white guy to say nigga on, and he said it. And they all kikied and laughed, and that's what sparked that conversation. And I said that these now keep in mind this goes to your point, Trevor. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm to the point. It said that those women that were on that panel that day, all of them were either African or Caribbean. So I put emphasis on them being able to jump in and out of blackness as they see fit. And that exemplified it. But hey, like I said, great show, guys.
Yeah, I saw that you did. When I saw the title, I'm like, huh. I said MD going down my alley now, huh? Mister, I don't get into those type of conversations.
I don't, but that triggered me. And also the Busta Rhymes thing triggered me. I mentioned that in
I gotta go
it too.
listen to the Busta Rhymes thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like I said, hey, this is wrestling. I will not partake. You know what I'm saying? I see you when I see you, Trevor.
Yeah, we'll say that for Monday, because Monday we that hell, that's our bread and butter on Monday. We for all that on Mondays. So
I should have got on here and been like AEW Dynamite tonight at 8:00.
What's today?
Yeah.
Oh, today's Wednesday.
Hey,
Damn, AEW is on right now.
Not for nothing, but I don't know if you guys know this, but Nick Wayne, is like 18-year-old prodigy, man. Like, I already seen a match with him and Swerve on YouTube before, wrestling for the Defy title. Amazing match. Like, dude's young as hell. You know what I mean? Like, he co-signed by Darby Allin. I think he's wrestling Swerve tonight. So definitely might want to check that out. I'm looking forward to it. So just thought y'all should know that. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Fellas,
Hey, anybody heard anything on Undertaker scaring a shark out the water that was trying to get his wife?
Yes.
What?
It's like so many memes about it. It's just funny as hell, man.
Yeah, apparently his wife was in the ocean or something like that, and a shark came up to her, and somehow he walked in the water, and the shark ended up swimming away. I don't know the full details of how true that is.
You can't
So wait a minute. So the shark said, "Oh shit, it's the dead man. Let me get the hell up out here."
Hey, not for nothing, but like the way, like, all right, you see her sitting there, in the water, and then you see a shark, and she was like, "Oh my God, I got scared." And I told my husband about it, and he took care of it. And literally, you just see him go walk over there, and he's just standing there, still looking like you could hear like the dead man's music playing in the background, like dong.
Is there a video?
And the shark looked at him and ran away, like.
Oh, I gotta
it was
see
insane.
this. Damn. Wow. Yeah, the shark got scared off by the dead man. All right. So for the 8th time, I'm gonna close the show down.
All right, I'm out.
All right, fellas. Peace.
All right, peace,
y'all.
Chris. Peace, Bones. Peace, MD. Peace, Trevor.
All right. Peace,
Thanks for
man.
coming out. God bless and good night.
All right. Peace, Chris. Oh man. Oh boy, well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it. Another fantastic episode of Wrestling with Reality. I think that Would Things Be Different segment went really good. Because hell, Venkat brought up that whole, when they brought up the Bret Hart being the third guy like that. Wow, that would have been crazy if it was heel Bret Hart. But Venkat bringing up the effect that Magnum TA being champion would have had on Ric Flair, man, that needs to be explored, because that's some meat on the bones there if I ever seen it. Like that is wow. Boy, a lot of things could have been different. You wouldn't have John Cena chasing Ric Flair's record. Think about it, because Ric Flair wouldn't be 16, 17, however many damn times he's won the belt. Man, that's a lot to think about. So, but anyway, man, I went way over my time. So peace to everybody that was watching. Peace to those watching in the clouds. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Share the video. Let everybody know we're here every Wednesday. When Wrestling with Reality. If you haven't already, go back and check out this week. We've been on fire, man. Monday we had a debate with Jansen Williams versus Reginald Young. That was great. Then yesterday we topped that off with a open panel discussion presentation with Jansen was presenting. He was showing us why we're cursed, why black people are cursed according to the Bible. So yeah, man, we're doing all type of things. Next Tuesday, I got to do the thumbnail for it. We are going to put the 12 tribe charts on trial. You have a couple brothers that think is bogus, and you have a couple brothers that stand by it. They're going to come on. We're going to have an open discussion. KOT already hit me up and said that he was going to be on for it. So whoever wants to come on, hopefully you get Lance to come over and want to get on for that. Hey, come on and do it. Next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we're going to rock out about that 12 tribe chart. that is one of the most debated things in the Israelite community, and we're gonna rock out about it Tuesday. So yeah, we got a lot of things coming up on the channel, man. July 21st, you have Pour Your Heart Out. Pour Your Heart Out will be doing another show July 21st, the Vagina Monologues. That's gonna be, I don't know what to expect, but I'll be in the building. I know that much. And we got Man Talk Monday this Monday, the return of Man Talk Monday. We took a week off because Big Mike is on vacation, but the crew is locked and ready to go this Monday. It is going to be an extended show because we got a lot to cover. I got a lot of videos that I want to get through. Every time, you know, I play these videos, we only get to play one or two because we end up going into hour-long conversations about them. But I'm going to bring the timer out this week so we can only spend a certain amount of time on each video. So we'll and I just like the timer effect overall. We had the debate with Yanga. We had the debate with Yanga and Mike, and they it went so great because we brought the timer out. Like the 2-minute back-to-back conversations timed is phenomenal. So going forward on these shows, when we get into these conversations that end up being like debatey, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just bring out the timer because it eliminates people from talking over one another. It's like the Jansen and Reginald debate from Monday. We had it timed. It was perfect. The conversation last night was perfect because nobody was able to talk over one another. You get your time, you get your stuff in. So that's what we're going to start doing on Man Talk Monday. I'm a time, not necessarily the co-host, but I'm a time anybody that wants to come up and dispute any of us on something. And we're also going to time the time that we're taking to go through these stories, because I got at least 4 that I definitely want to get through Monday. And just so everybody knows, we will be discussing Keke Palmer. Why wouldn't we? We're the Man Talk Monday crew. Why wouldn't we talk about what's going on with Keke Palmer? And you know, we got a lot to say about that. And then I have about 3 other videos that I want to get into. But the first thing we are going to discuss what's going on with Keke Palmer. So tune into that. Man Talk Monday is going to be wild as always. Peace to everybody that watched. Peace to everybody in the chat. I think at one point, man, it was like 11 of y'all watching, man. You know, hell, Man Talk. I mean, hell, you getting hey, the Wrestling with Reality is just getting up, man. Y'all make sure and spread the word out, man. We do wrestling with a twist. You know, we did the news items today, but you see where it goes into other stuff. But I really, really love that. Would things be different if I'm gonna just tell you, when I hit Venkat with this question, that's why it's gonna be the first thing, because I know what it's gonna lead to. So we're gonna get that out of the way first, and then I'm interested in hearing what he has for me in the upcoming, you know, weeks and stuff like that. So y'all tune in, man. Peace of Venkat as always. Chris for giving that banging NXT report. Bones for covering MLW and AEW. MD for coming through, providing his commentary. You know, so we doing the damn thing, man. We just trying to grow the channel, man. There's a platform where everybody's welcome. Everybody has a voice over here. As long as you don't come disrespectful, and as long as you don't bring any drama from any other platform. So with all that being said, because I'm losing my damn voice, I got to eat dinner and I got to go to bed soon because I got to get up and go to work in the morning. With all that being said, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. With that, see you Monday. Peace.
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep in the shit.
I'm gonna take you home.
What?